The Sunday sequence break.
Guys don't even know how good that was. That was
nailed it.
That was
fantastic. Perfect. No one even knew. They're like, what? That's crazy. We need a background. No. Awesome. Hey, welcome everybody to episode 130, the Sunday sequence break.
Ooh.
And miraculously, it's Ninja Gaiden, which I mean in the sense of how have we not done Ninja Gaiden yet?
Yeah, that's pretty surprising.
Yeah,
I thought we already had it. But,
we haven't? I thought we didn't. I thought we did one.
I thought we did.
I thought we did one alone.
I thought we did too.
I thought we did a Ninja Gaiden episode.
And I went through the whole list. I searched the word Gaiden, and I couldn't find it. So.
Did you search Gaiden?
Which one's correct again?
Gaiden. Which means that we probably listed it as Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden.
Nice. He went there. He went there.
Yep.
I'm just gonna subtly change the title because someone always has to dig it out.
So you might not have typed it right because we had a Ninja Gaiden episode on December 9th, 2012.
We did.
Hey, I knew we did.
We did. I swear we did too. So that's all right. I'm gonna back away.
Show's over, folks.
I'm gonna back away from what I wrote. I'm gonna make sure. All right, fantabulous. So
you're gonna have to redo the intro because
no.
you already screwed it up.
I did it perfectly.
The one bit of
what are you talking
information
about?
you gave our viewers is wrong.
Well, here's another piece of information that's gonna be wrong. With me today, we've got Feasel.
Nope.
PJ.
Nope.
No. Duckfist.
Maybe.
Licky. Yes, we got that one for sure. And that's all of us. Some of you more attentive viewers might be like, whoa, that's the 4 guys that are generally meant to be here. So, correct. You're correct. Good job. As our special guest.
Cast.
Yeah, the original cast, right. As a special guest, we have InfestedRiche.
Yeah, once again, I'm back.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, right?
That's right.
It's okay. It's fine.
Yep.
I've been doing this multiple weeks in a row and they haven't booted me off yet, so you're okay. Then we
tried, but we haven't succeeded.
We've got Jimmypoopins. Is this like a Mary Poppins name thing?
Yeah.
It is, okay.
It was originally supposed to be that, and then it was a typo.
Oh.
But I stuck with it because it was pretty funny.
So you found out that there already was a Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Some English woman had stolen your ID. I had the same problem with mine, yeah. And finally, Crack Attack, who I'm assured is here.
I am here, I think.
There he is.
Alright.
This Skype call is not the best I've ever heard.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa, wait. Is this NG3 background from the Super Famicom? It is. Ugh.
Wait, what?
Oh, I spelled the name wrong.
Wait.
Yeah, it is.
This is Super Famicom.
It's Attack. Oh my god, I spelled it wrong. In
No,
the
he
Alright,
spelled
we'll fix
it
that before we
correct.
end the show.
He spelled it correctly lower though. The important part's spelled correctly.
The link is right, but
the link's
The link is right.
Just look at the
important part
bottom
is-
bit.
Ah,
Also,
that's
PJ,
terrible.
I
It's
know
good enough.
I know you
Low
said there was
quality.
a Ninja Gaiden bird. I couldn't find it, so I used beat instead. It's basically the same
What?
game, right?
I'll show you a Ninja Gaiden bird.
You should have said I'll show you a beat. Come on.
No, I'm actually going to show you a Ninja Gaiden bird.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me find him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's keep this show. Oh wait, Duckfist isn't even in my default. Okay, let's skip off this one. Let's keep this show blisteringly, fastly blazing along at a fantastic pace with no mistakes whatsoever, and go straight into recaps with Feasel. Feasel, what have you been up to?
Me?
Yeah.
Recaps with me.
Yes.
All right. Oh man, this week did some streaming. Played Legacy of the Wizard a bunch. Learned the new scroll manipulations. Experimented with some new stuff. I did some attempts. I put in a good number of hours into that, but I mostly was spending the time just getting used to the very first scroll manipulation, which is the newest addition to the route. So, yeah, I've been doing that. I played Karate Bird again, and I ended up getting that sub-11 run that I was after and forgetting to submit it to TSSB, so nice going. Maybe it's not too late. Let me
Karate
see.
bird.
Karate Bird. Yep, Doki Doki Karate Bird. And, yeah, let's see, we did SGL on Saturday. Yesterday we did Goof Troop was the game. It was pretty fun. And what else? I don't know. It was a pretty good week for me in general. A bunch of random things. That's about it. I don't really have anything especially stand out to talk about.
That's alright. Not all of us can have special
birds.
weeks every week. I didn't get down as
Yeah,
far
it's
as
not
this
a
bird
special-
number, PJ.
What?
I don't have the bird.
I
It's too late.
have the.
It's too late to get the bird
It's
from
sending,
you.
it's
too
right there.
late to get the bird. The bird's
We're
dead.
negative on
No.
birds.
We're making do with beat. Speaking
Birds
of
are a no-go.
beating, PJ, wait for it. You've probably beaten some games this week in a speedrun sense. Is that correct?
Sure.
And what have you been up to?
That is correct.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been working on ActRaiser 2 a whole lot. I spent a lot of the week investigating some of those difficulties that were never meant to be played. And I finally settled on one that's super, super hard and actually beatable. So that's fun. I played that a lot. And then I did like 2 or 3 nights of attempts on actual hard mode instead of super hard mode. And got a really, really bad PB, but still the first PB that I've had in, I don't know, like a year and a half or something. So that was kind of cool. But still plenty of work to go on that. And then today I played a bit of Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, which is just a complete mess. Yeah, the collision detection's really bad in that game, so you can just like go right through floors and grab power-ups through walls and all kinds of really fun stuff. It's a really fun game. I enjoy it a lot, so I'll probably be playing some more of that. But ActRaiser 2 is the main focus right now.
Cool.
That's it.
Alright, and as is definitely originally listed on our background, we have Duckfist with a recap.
Hey, nice background.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it works out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not edited at all.
No.
Oh, not much. I haven't really streamed any speedrunning stuff. I did some speedrunning stuff the past few weeks, but nothing really came out of it. I haven't really told people about the games that I was working on, but I don't think I'm going to actually get to playing them, at least like not right now. But I started routing Final Fantasy V, got through a little bit, learned some encounter manipulation, and just kind of got the flow of the game, and just kind of stopped working on it.
Oh,
and
boy.
then I picked up, Then
I
I
know
picked
that
up
feeling.
Kirby's Adventure. Yeah, it's getting worse and worse for me.
Yeah.
And I picked up Kirby's Adventure.
Ooh.
No UFO glitch. I learned like 15 of the levels. And it's pretty cool, you know. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing with it, but I just kind of stopped. I don't know why. I just kind of stopped. That happens. And then I said to myself, Kirby's Adventure. Hey, Mario Adventure was a cool game, and I already played Mario 3, so I don't know. Let's try doing that. I don't think anybody's done it before. So I learned like 30 levels in Mario Adventure. And same thing, I just stopped doing it.
Nice.
That's pretty cool though. They were pretty cool games to mess with. So I don't know. Might go back to some of those. Other than that, did some casual gaming stuff. I played through Grandia, RPG on the PlayStation 1.
Grandia 2 is
Watching some
really
people,
good.
Grandia 2 is really good.
Yeah.
I slightly prefer 1, but they're both amazing games.
I'm not going to fight you about it. Don't worry.
That's fine. Yeah, I might have to play through that one soon again. It's also quite good, but had a blast. Finished it like 4 days ago. And continuing the casual train with some other stuff. That's pretty much it. I'm going to Dusler's house next weekend to hang out and play some games and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's
Awesome.
pretty much it for the gaming news.
Cool. All right. Comes around to me then. Last week and I was busy because there was a meetup at my house. We had a meetup down in Brighton, the city near where I live, and Bangera, Shrimp, and Adam all stayed at my house. It was an absolute buttload of fun. So I was too busy drinking and watching bad films last weekend to do the show, which kind of sucks because it was AGDQ recap, but whatever. Can't have your cake and eat it. As for running,
Oh yeah, this is the crew you do your crew you do your B movies.
Yeah,
or like
B
bad
movies.
movies. Like,
Oh yeah.
you tell me about that.
It
Cool.
was we watched our 100th movie today called Hillside Cannibals. It wasn't very good. So just if you're out there, it's not very good. Anyway, I tried doing some speedrunning stuff. I got back from AGDQ. You either get back where you just want to break from speedrunning, or you're super pumped to just speedrun everything. I got back in the second mood. Tried Bayonetta 2, didn't like it. Really didn't like speedrunning it. So I got about 3 or 4 levels in before I quit completely, which is basically where the first of the stupid bosses is. And it's not stupid as in stupid hard, it's stupid as in, why did they design it to be like this stupid? So I gave up on that, like I give up on everything, really. And I'm currently about 60% into the Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns route to try and learn that, and effectively at the first point people can actually fail at. So that's going to be a true test of whether I want to keep doing that or not. But there's there's that. Aside from that, back into speedrunning Left 4 Dead with Adam, Oasis, Darwin, and Freezed in various combinations, which has been really cool to do that again. It's really fun, and you might hear a bit more about that later. Aside from that, I think we're set on that. Our recaps. Moving on to the more important people, our guests. We have InfestedRiche. What have you been up to since last week? I would say since AGDQ, but you were here last week.
Yeah, I had a lot of work this week, but I had some time to. I played a typical PJ game. I played what's it called, Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge.
Yeah, that is a quality game.
Yeah, that was a challenge for me. Like in my 16-bit nostalgia, like a guy picked it for me and I had to beat it. And yeah, that was so tough, that game.
Yeah.
But I did it, so that's what matters. And aside from that, not much. I joined the Sonic 2 race yesterday.
How many were in that
Oh
race?
yeah, that's right. That was a lot of fun.
I think it were like 108 or something.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I hadn't played that game since I was like 10 or something. So, but yeah, I think I did fairly good. I had a lot of fun, at least.
Good.
Aside from that, not much. Been working with some layouts today, and yeah, gonna play some. We'll do some speedrunning starting tomorrow.
Nice. What are you going to run?
It's gonna be Ninja Gaiden 2 and Battle Kid 2 from now on.
Nice.
From now on, that's what we're getting. That sounds good. Good choices.
They're good games.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see who wants to recap next. How about Jimmypoopins?
Since AGDQ, I've been doing a little bit of Ninja Gaiden 2. Found some new stuff, both at AGDQ and after. Actually talking to Ohan. It was nice to actually talk to him. He had the record for a while, so yeah, he gave some info that we didn't really know about. I'm actually getting my NES modded right now, so it's one of the reasons I've been streaming. My friend has it. Once that gets back, I'll be streaming a lot more. I've been practicing off stream a little bit. But
Nice.
finally got a CRT, so I'll be recording and gonna go for sub 1020.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, that's quite a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, we actually since the last record, we probably found like 2 seconds worth of improvements. So it adds up.
Jeez.
Alright. That's cool. We look forward to that one. I always like to see more Ninja Gaiden runs.
Yeah.
It's always just amazing to see time coming off these runs that you think. Every time you see a new Ninja Gaiden record, you're like, oh man, they can't possibly get any faster. This one's going to stand forever.
Yeah.
But it never
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, that's kind of the run I'm going for. Like if you watch mine, you can still see there's a few mistakes here and there, but ideally I'd like the one where Ohan, for example, you watch it, you really can't see anything wrong with it. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
The intimidation factor. There's no beating this. Don't even try.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, Crack Attack. What have you been up to since HDQ?
Oh, where do I start?
Oh man, it's
Okay,
been a busy month.
It's been quite a week, or past month actually. But I'm still working Ninja Gaiden 3, even though people don't believe me. I've been trying to get a 1240 around. So that's
Playing with that busted cart.
that's gonna
Still.
happen eventually.
Started thinking you just haven't
It's
taken it
gonna
out
be
of your
crazy to
window.
get it, but it's gonna happen eventually. I've been working on Mega Man X Collection, the whole 1 through 6. I'm gonna probably speedrun all of them in a row. Because I know 1 and 3 right now, and I'm trying to finish learning 6 so I can do 1 through 6 Mega Man X.
Huh.
And then I've been working on Battletoads. I played a lot with JC when I was at GDQ, so I got a better idea how to run it. And I'm also doing Castlevania Rondo of Blood. I'm in New Game Plus for that. But I haven't really streamed. It's more or less just been practice of those games.
Oh, okay. I think Clage is gonna get started on Rondo too.
Yeah, Rondo's such a good game. There's definitely needs more runners.
Yeah. I'm
So
excited
New
to
Game
see
Plus?
more of it.
That's what, Maria? Was that Maria?
Yeah,
Was that?
Maria's
Okay.
faster. New Game Plus.
Does Maria have loads of animals in this one as well?
Oh yeah, lots of animals. Lots of bird throwing cats and all sorts of unspeakable things.
Yeah.
Love it. Alrighty. Hey, am I back in time for us to move into our game of the week?
You're back just in
Believe
time.
so.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I didn't go anywhere, but I mean, in spirit, I'm back. So,
Okay.
we're gonna talk about Ninja Gaidens. All about them. And how are we doing this in order, one by one? Or are we gonna talk about Ninja Gaidens as a whole? Fiesel, you kind of
I should
getting the
make
blame
a-
now. Yeah, you should.
I'll get the blame for this. All right. Well, let's see. We have probably more of a Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 focus, just given the guests we have.
Mhm.
But I mean, we could just kind of, I don't know, we could just do them in order. We could do them in reverse order, 3 then 2, and if we have time
we
left
can
over,
do
do
that.
1.
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Yeah.
All
And then
right.
we'll just
Let's start
play
with
the
3
relay
then.
video in reverse too.
No, we're going
Yeah,
straight with
exactly.
we're going with Rich. I think
Yeah, why don't you play the record for
Yeah.
3 and
Yeah.
we got it. I need to write a title
we
for it
can
though.
sort of talk about it as we go.
Yeah.
All right, so Ninja Gaiden 3 quite a bit different than the other 2 Ninja Gaidens. That was my impression of it, right? I mean, how do you feel about that? Is it sort of its own entity, or is it
Yeah,
an easy
well-
thing for Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 runners to pick up?
It's the type of game that feels really weird to play if you play one or two right before you play 3, because yeah, you're so floaty and stuff like that in 3.
Just a
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
the
bit
physics are different. Unlike the first 2, the physics are the exact same in the first 2.
I mean, there's subtle physics differences between the first 2, but it's
yeah.
definitely striking between 2 and 3, and 1 and 3. I mean, there's a couple of new weapons, but that they did that between 1 and 2 as well. But like somebody said earlier, just simply jumping feels much different in the game. You have it's much lower gravity. And the hitboxes on enemies are a little different. Just the level design is a little bit different, and that just there's way more enemies everywhere in the game. There's no shadow clone. There's no spin slash. So most of the time you're dealing 1 damage at a time against bosses. And it's also
What's
the
the
one
OP
game
weapon?
yeah,
Oh, sorry,
well, the OP is probably just Art of the Firewheel, which is also pretty good in the first 2 games. But it's pretty much all you have in this game. Art of the Firewheel and the Vacuum Blade. But, you're still stuck just doing 1 damage at a time for the most part against bosses. And it's also the only of the 3 games that has a lot of version differences between the Japanese and the US version. The US version, you just generally take more damage, and you have limited continues, which is really bad for a casual play. And when you die, you respawn in different locations, usually just at the beginning of the level, rather than a Japanese version, it's the beginning of the room. So it's... I don't know. Some of the stuff just kind of turns off people. There's also an auto scroller early on, making attempts kind of difficult to do.
That's what we're seeing right now, I guess.
Go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I always go for the silly glitch during the article because I have nothing
Oh, I
better
see
to
that.
do.
Looks fancy.
You can do it 3 times in the article, and I go for it every time.
Yeah, there's
So what
some
version?
there's some mechanics that are different too. Like you can grab onto railings in that game. Like there's some suspended rails that you can jump and grab onto.
Oh.
And there weren't any of those in the previous games. So some moving platforms. There was no moving platforms in 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
true.
just a couple of hazards are a little different, but other than that, it still has Nimpo. You still have the bosses and enemies are very similar. There's still wall climbing. A lot of the weapons are still very similar. So I mean, it's more like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 than a different game completely, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's still quite different. That said, it's a really good game. It's a late era Nintendo game, so it has really, really good graphics. There's a lot of stages that are really beautiful, parallax scrolling backgrounds and just really nice looking colors, and
Music's really good
the
too.
music is amazing.
I get to listen to
It's
it.
great sound.
So
I mean, so do the first 2 games, but this one stands on its own very well. It's still a really good game. I think it gets a lot of flack because of how difficult it is as a casual game. It's extremely difficult to beat this game.
Yeah.
But that said, still an awesome speed game. It's very good.
yeah, so the interesting thing about this one is it kind of got attention quite late, I guess, compared to the others. When there was the Ninja Gaiden revival, for lack of a better word, and 1 and 2 were getting run a lot. 3 kind of got left behind a bit until Rich sort of picked it up. So, how come you picked it up?
At the same time.
Yeah,
What's that?
I say, how come you picked it up?
Let's see. It started out I wanted to get sub 14, I think, before I even played the game, so I could submit it to ESA and hope that it got in there. And
It actually
I
not
think I
only got in, it also made us add a bunch of other Ninja Gaidens as well. We planned to have
but
none
at first,
until you submitted that.
At first it didn't, because I only I got sub 14 and then I didn't bother improving, and I just submitted it and hoped for the best. And but then we had DreamHack as well, DreamHack Summer. So then I said again okay, well, I can play Ninja Gaiden 3 if you want, and they wanted it. So then I started playing it a little bit more, and that's when we both me and Crack got close to Liger's former record, 1332. And it just kept going after that.
Yeah,
Because
that record stood for
Crack
years.
was going for SGDQ as well, so he grinded it out, and then we just kept battling back and forth.
Liger's
How
run, I
far-
remember being really impressive. That was one of
Yeah,
his
at the
best
time.
runs.
It was really impressive. He just didn't have some of the best strategies, especially against like bosses. And there was a lot of stuff in platform sections where he just slowed down in a lot of places you didn't really need to. Although it wasn't obvious that you didn't need to, just because, even in the top level runs these days, like in Rich's run, you still have to stop in a lot of spots, like in 5-1, just to attack enemies, just because they're everywhere. In this game, there's very few options to like just kind of pass by enemies and take damage and not worry about it. You just have very limited resources in the game to actually do that. So, it's one of the games where it always looks like it's kind of solved, but it never really is. But that said, there's also just no real competition in the game other than Liger. There was maybe like 1 or 2 other people in the previous submission history on SDA, and then after Liger's run, there was just nobody that ran it. Like, I picked it up with quotes. For like about a week, I don't know, like 2 years ago, and I can't remember anybody else that actually played it until Rich picked it up.
I don't think there was, because there was some low percent or some sword only stuff.
Oh, Uranium Maker.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
UA.
Yeah, that's right.
UA played it.
But it wasn't any percent, was it? So, like, that's
He
what
did
there
any
was.
percent
He was
as well.
playing it. Yeah, but so there was him as sort of a
So he-
stopgap before Rich. I know that.
Right. It was from what I know, it was after Liger. I remember Uranium Maker doing it, then I briefly did it, and then Rich and Crack picked it up and actually kind of took it pretty far. But yeah, it was just, the game just needed addition to bring it down, I think. That's all it really needed.
Yeah, I
And
remember like
it's really good.
when we got like 1320s and we were like, oh, this run is so good now, and then we like researched it a little more and found like one more thing, and all of a sudden I got like a 1312 out of nowhere, and like then I thought like, oh, this is the run, like this is getting better, and then just I couldn't stop, but like I just researched it, the whole game, like every room, like thought like, okay, I stop here, what can I do, what can I improve? And then I just found like minor improvements all over the place, and then I got like a 8, and once again I thought like, okay, this is never gonna be beaten, and then we had like 1305.
There's still plenty to
1302.
this game.
And when I had like the 1302, I was like, okay, I want that sub 13. Let's do this. Like, I need to find more stuff. And then I like went into the tasks and like tried to do like task threats, and which are viable. Some things. This quick kill on the boss, for example, is.
I think I'm really
close
to
Wow.
That's cool.
They can hear a quiet version of you in the background of the stream from the VOD, and they heard you yell, so it's all good.
Yeah. That's like it's like a 2-second loss if you don't get a quick kill. So yeah. And when I finally sub 13, I got a 1258, and that's when I was like, okay, I did sub 13. Now I'm done with the game. But yeah, once again I couldn't stop, and I wanted it to be like perfect, and I found like one more room, just like a half a second or a second to improve, and I was like, shit, I'm going for it. and then we started doing like you can see here in my movements when I climb the walls, like you jump back and forth to gain some height, which it's a faster climb than just climb normally. And if you optimize that during the whole run, it adds up probably, I don't know, at least 5 seconds. So then I got like a 1254, which is the record now, and yeah, I think with my strats and like everything now, I think I lost like 2 or 3 seconds in this run overall, and it was almost only on stage 2, which was horrible.
So you said you're going to be working on this game some more. Are
think
there
like 1
new
second
strats that you want to add in, or do you just want to fix those couple seconds of mistakes that were in current
Really
record?
close, at least. Well, I'm intrigued. Crack, it says he's going for 1240, and I don't know how he's gonna do that. So
Well,
I'm looking forward to his.
fortunately, we can ask, right?
Yeah, like a 1230 is possible, but it's really, really, really hard.
So what
Like,
are you?
it's humanly possible, definitely.
What are you gonna do to get your 1240 then? Like, what have you got in mind?
Oh, one of the things, Gus Mancini, he actually showed me how to do a faster wall climb, where you can do it kind of like the TAS. It's, since you're not watching that run, but it's almost like twice the speed of that. You save
Yeah,
like
it's
maybe
super hard to
10
do.
seconds if you do it really,
Wow.
really fast, but you can't mess up any of them if you do that. And then the
Yeah, it's
sword cancels, I've been getting some of them on some of the bosses. Sword cancels really difficult in NG3 compared to the other two.
Yeah, how does it work in this? I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, it is possible in the third game. What happens is you
Yeah.
have to press up and A
Fuck yeah,
to
we're
start
in
the
there,
jump,
we're in there.
and then you press B. Up and A, B. Like as fast as possible. So I've called it the ninja fapping for use of a better term.
That's what that was then. Okay, I was
Yeah.
not gonna lie,
that's what
a
ninja
bit
fapping is. It's
worried
when
about.
he strokes his longsword really, really fast. That's what's going on.
I was a bit worried about your
Yeah,
comment
like-
in the Skype
That
call
was a bit
when you
slow.
said
Yeah.
you're busy ninja fapping.
Like, yeah, it's a really strange thing. I'll try to explain what I know about it, because I kind of figured it out a little bit, like when I played it a long time ago, too, because the task does this to defeat some of the bosses a little faster. And I noticed that Liger didn't do any of it in his run. But it's really, really difficult to do. I don't know why it works, but for some reason, there's this weird mechanic. It has absolutely no point in the game. But like Crack said, if you hold up and press A to jump instead of just pressing A, like you don't do like a somersault in your jump. Instead, you jump with your arms held up, and it makes like a sound. And what's weird is if you continue to hold up and continue pressing A in mid-air, it just keeps making that sound. So that's kind of, I guess, why I started as ninja fapping. 'Cause it's, yeah. Yeah, it's really weird, but for some reason, every time you do that, it cancels the cooldown on your sword slash.
I think we're
So if
looking
you
at
can
the
manage,
director there.
if you can manage to sword slash and then hold up and press A, release up and A and slash again, you could just keep doing that in the air, and he just goes ha 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 ha. You know, he's slashing like crazy. But unfortunately, just the input is really, really difficult to do, but for some reason,
You have to be standing
you
in
just-
place when you do it too. You can't move
yeah,
up
you
or
pretty
right.
much have to be standing in place. And if you mess up, you're going to accidentally
53,
use ninjutsu,
54.
because if you hold up and you press B, it uses ninjutsu. And repeatedly pressing up. So it's really risky. But for some reason, if you hold a controller a certain way and just wiggle it back and forth, it just works. You know what I mean, Crack? It just kind of works.
Yeah, and another thing is if you do it too fast, it doesn't work either. If you do it within like 2 frames within each other,
54,
then
baby.
Yeah, like-
you don't get the sword slash at all.
Wow.
Like also,
So
bosses
there's
like
actually some rhythm to it as well.
and bosses have a little bit of an invulnerability period that's like it's shorter than the normal cooldown on your sword slash, which is like normally like 20 frames between sword slashes if you do it perfectly. But for some reason, bosses have like maybe I don't know. I'm making it up, like an 8-frame cooldown period, and so you can only hit them so fast with the sword slashing. So not only is it really difficult to do, you can't move around very much when you're doing it, but you have to have just the right rhythm to actually benefit from it. It's really, really strange.
Wow.
I think the reason why there's a cooldown on bosses, and this is just conjecture, but for some reason when you fight the final boss of the game, there's the head that you have to defeat. And it's the final form of the final boss. And when you use Invincible Firewheel, you can actually use that to attack the head. It just does damage repeatedly to the head. But you'll notice that it does damage repeatedly much faster than sword slashing a normal boss. It does damage maybe once every 8 frames or so. So I've always thought that, okay, for some reason, because of how fast Art of the Fire or Invincible Firewheel does damage against the head, maybe that's just the cooldown on every boss, or the invulnerability period on every boss, if that makes sense. So I feel that this time could come down just from somehow learning and being able to do effective ninja fapping everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, I think
Pretty safe.
like if I could do it flawlessly, I think I could shave off like 5 seconds overall on bosses.
Yeah, like 4 or 5
And then
seconds.
if we add the climb that Craig talked about, it's probably somewhere around 5 to 10 seconds more on top of that.
The thing with the
That's
fast
crazy.
climb is it's going to take a long time to learn because it's really, really, really rhythm based.
What do you do?
But
Okay,
have
so I
done
don't
it a
understand
few
how it's
times.
different.
It's really weird.
What do you actually do to get the fastest climb? don't
Okay,
just
it's
jump
kind
away
of like
from the
the
wall and then
ninja
back into it.
pathing, but you hit it on this frame when you're jumping off the wall. You have to do it within a 2 or 3 frame window where you get back on the wall every time you get off. And you have to do it. You just have to mash left and right like as fast as possible, and while your time A to jump off.
So
And what happens
makes
is
that
you do
difficult?
it kind of like the TAS.
It's
just
really
a
tricky to
slightly
do
slower
because
version.
same thing in Ninja Gaiden 1, where the only option for wall climbing other than on a ladder is to just press left and right. But because in all the Ninja Gaiden games, including 3, I think it's the same mechanic in all of them. When you jump, you're sort of committed to the direction you're facing when in midair, but you can still move backwards. But you just move at a third of your normal speed. I want to say you probably move at 1.5 pixels per frame forward. Backwards in midair, you probably move at 0.5 pixels per frame. So it's much slower moving backwards. So because of that, when you're on a wall and you want to climb back and forth, when you jump off of the wall, you move back towards the wall much slower. So the amount of time that you hold the direction away from the wall has to be as short as possible so that you're not sitting there trying to go back to the wall. If that makes any sense. So your left and right movement to climb fast has to be really, really, really brief to actually be effective.
Yeah, and you won't get
I
that
see.
slow speed if you do it fast enough.
So you risk missing the wall and falling, right? Is that
It's
Yeah,
it's
the risk
a lot
is?
of time lost if you miss it.
Yeah. Suppose you accidentally press away from the wall before you landed back on the wall, then you're just going to start falling. So it's
Yeah.
really risky.
It's also hard to climb too, because you have to let go of up. So you sometimes, if you mess up the input, you'll just sit on the wall, not moving at all.
Right, losing all those frames that you just gained.
Yeah.
I think in Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 you can still keep holding up.
Jump around the corner.
Yeah.
You can just
Yeah,
hold
you
it up
can-
and then
you can hold up in
diagonally
this
step
game.
up, Right.
Yeah, you can hold up the film.
Because that was a bad battle.
Well, you can't jump off the wall though, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can be holding
While you're
diagonal
holding
as long
up.
as you're holding A. Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
In Ninja Gaiden 1, you cannot. It has to be exactly left and right.
I thought, never mind.
Yeah, you just need a really good D-pad if you want fast wall climbs.
You mean a
You
really
either need a
squishy,
dog bone or you need just this really solid D-pad to do it.
a
You
really
need-
squishy
Yeah.
D-pad?
You need the Carl
Yeah.
Sagan D-pad.
You
Press
have
the
the
left
control
and
step on
right.
it and
Left and right at the same time.
The
You
thing
also
is,
need
if you have that,
thumbs.
if you have that controller with a really, loose D-pad, you probably screw up all the other movements in the rest of the run. So.
Unless you're used to playing on a super squishy
But it-
D-pad.
But it's
I might have
worth
to
it.
give it a try and see how
It's
it
worth
feels.
it for that one moment of glory.
Yeah. Just edit your highlight video to be just the fast wall climb. That's it.
Just make a preview video.
Yeah.
Just make a world record
was thinking
preview
you could just-
video. Never actually release the video as a run. Just show the wall.
right, or just splice it together. Where you switch controllers in between while
Yep,
climbing
that's
and
it.
regular
That's what I
stuff.
was just thinking.
Which
Unplug
game-
the controller during the boss
Right.
death and
Which
plug
game
in a
did
better
that? Some guys do that, don't they, for a run?
I hope not.
I never heard of this.
Is that?
You just
what?
pause the game, switch your controllers, and
I
then say you're
watched
doing an
something
Indian
recently
time speed.
where a guy live in his run switched to another pad. I'm wondering if that was a fighting game or something instead, but that still doesn't make
Well,
sense. Anyway,
If you don't stop the timer, I guess that's okay.
no, he doesn't
Yeah,
set the
no,
timer; it just keeps going.
Yeah. Still,
Yeah, I recognize that. I think it's the fighting
Fighting
game
games?
community.
Oh, okay.
I also remember, I don't know if other Mario 64 players do it, but a long time ago, Siglimik had said that he swaps controllers when fighting Bowser, just for the different
Yeah,
analog.
that's it. That's exactly what it was.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
it.
huh.
Fussiness who does it.
Fuzzy does it still. There you go. That's
Yeah.
why I thought fighting
There
games.
it is.
See, there we go. We
Ah.
got it. Hey, anyway, back on topic.
let's-
Are we good to move on to Ninja Gaiden 2, or do you have more Ninja
Yeah, we
Gaiden
could probably
3
move on
say?
to 2 now.
Alright,
Yeah.
got this one. I'm ready. I'm going.
Nice.
I had to pause the timer twice during writing your name, Jimmy, so I hope
It's
you're
really
happy.
weird how your mindset. Like pauses and unpauses, right?
Yeah, it does.
Has 2 keys. It's no problem.
Just saying. I've been trying to write
If you were
sentences
flaming
without the
balloons,
letter
that would
P
be a
in it.
problem.
Alright, video's running. Jimmy, take it away. Ninja Gaiden 2. What's special about it?
This one is, I don't know, I think one of the things that makes this one really interesting is the damage boosting. Because in the other games, when you get hit, you slow down. But in this one, you maintain the same horizontal speed. So you just get boosted all over the place. And it makes it exciting and difficult. Because health becomes a problem sometimes. Like in the other games, health isn't too much of a resource. But here, you utilize the health to go faster. It's like an extra dimension to the game. The other thing you can see the...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, do you have to turn... Is it away from the direction you're facing, or does it depend on where you hit the enemy? Do you have to
It depends
actually
on what
jump
direction...
and turn around?
Depends on what direction you're facing, what direction you get hit. So, like, if I just jump into one of those goon guys and I hit him, like, on his side, I'll get boosted back slowly. But if I jump and hit his backside, then he'll boost me forward.
I see.
Yeah, the direction that you get boosted depends on how the collisions resolve, like which side of the enemy you hit. But you always there's also, you can change how the speed that you get boosted at. The speed that you get boosted at depends on the speed that you were at when you hit the enemy. Like,
oh, I see.
Because remember how I mentioned Ninja Gaiden 3 and it applies to 1 and 2. When you move backwards in midair, you move much slower. If you happen to move backwards right before hitting an enemy, your boost will be much slower. I think that's how it works, right, Jimmy?
Yeah,
I see.
That's actually utilized a couple places.
All right. That makes more sense. I was just wondering if you had to, every time you boosted, had to like turn around at the last moment before you hit him. But actually, you don't want to do that because that would give you a short boost, right?
Right. Like, yeah, you would go slower.
Got it.
There's a
the
strat is
obsolete.
obsolete.
Utilize that against final boss, I think. Maybe like the very final form of the final boss where there's some RNG. Like if you're about to get hit, tap backwards right before getting hit so you don't get boosted too far away from him and just get back in.
Yeah, you could do that. One thing I was gonna say, the end I'll comment when it comes up, but I actually used for one of the boosts. I don't want to get boosted all the way forward, I want to get boosted vertically. And actually, another interesting thing about this game, where the boosting comes into play, is unlike the others, like Duckfist was mentioning, if you hold back, you go really slow. If you slash and then hold back, you go at the normal speed. So like, a lot of times you see me, okay, that's a pixel perfect jump there. It's really rare to hit that. You actually jump onto that wall. There's a few boosts that actually happen in Act 1. Maybe I'll comment, happens in 5.1 as well, where you need to slash backward to like keep that fast speed, and then you get boosted forward. So I'll try to comment that when it comes up on 5.1.
Oh, the little orange dudes.
Yeah.
I just muted myself on stream for that question, so let me just say that again. The orange dude, what is that? Because I thought he was going to kill you, but he's you, obviously. Like, what's up with
that?
Another one of you.
He mimics my movement, like, in the past, so wherever I move, he's going to catch up. And whenever I press B for any reason, he also presses B, like, but at the same time. So if I slash, all three of my guys will slash at the same time. Or if I use a special.
So is this
that's why the bosses. No, it's so like in Ninja Gaiden 3, you get the sword extension. It's just like a passive upgrade. This is the same idea. You just get it and you keep it till you die. So
and he's got two little shadow clones following him. You can't tell too well sometimes. Yeah, two.
Yeah, the FPS causes problems.
I've noticed
if you play it on CRT. Yeah, on CRT they appear every other frame. So because of the broadcasting, it's a little bit funny sometimes.
I was noticing the difference between what's being captured and what's in the video.
Oh yeah.
So that's something funny. Just wanted to mention, like there was some boosting going on there. It looks like he's clipping through ceilings and walls. That works in pretty much all of these games for a really weird reason. There's no ceiling in Ninja Gaiden games. for some reason. There's nothing in games that prevents your jump height from, going to its max height. There's some small differences, like you're climbing a wall, you'll bump into the ceiling while climbing, but at any point if you're jumping, you just go through the ceiling anywhere. Like, that includes when you're climbing a wall too. So you can be climbing a wall, go to the top where it stops you, and then you just start jumping off the wall, and you can get over the top of walls, or you can go into ceilings. So it's a really weird thing in this game. So anytime there's a ceiling, it's not really a ceiling. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see this boost coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
clip
clip's
is great.
Right here's another
And then
one
again right
here.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what's weird is the fire hazards and the spike hazards, they will always boost you to the right no matter how you hit them. It's kind of weird, but yeah, Jimmy boosted over some of the walls there, or some of the walls there. In that previous room you barely saw, but yeah, he did slash backwards a little bit because you could always transition into screens facing the same direction, like no matter what. So it would always make him facing to the right, but you need to back up a little bit to unlock the screen to actually be able to begin scrolling. So he was able to do that just by slashing and moving backwards. So it's kind of weird. It's probably not making much sense. But when I talked a little earlier about how if you move backwards in midair, it's much slower. Like Jimmy had said, if you for some reason in Ninja Gaiden 2, if you sword slash before backing up in midair, you move at full speed for the duration of the sword slash. It's really, really strange. Like in one room, when you enter, it's like a one-screen room. When you enter from the top, you have to be going to the left, but it always makes you enter facing to the right. So if you're holding left,
right
you're going to
here.
be moving slowly. What is that? Yeah, okay, so pay attention here in stage 6-1.
Next screen.
Next screen, little sword slash as soon as he enters the screen, and then press left, just to be moving at full speed for like 20 frames. Very strange. It's a very subtle mechanic, so stuff like that makes this such a good game. It's a lot of really, really minor, like normal things that you would normally not even think about doing that just save very small amount of time. And just putting it all together makes for a very clean, technically interesting run, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Something we haven't actually talked about that's a huge deal in this game is the sword slash canceling. So like you can do the same thing in 3, but the mechanic is different here. If you slash and then you jump, it resets the cooldown. So basically you slash and then wait a few frames for the hit to actually register, and then jump and it can slash again. So this is used like on this boss. So the last shot, you can see a jump at the end there. So I shoot the last one just a little bit faster. But that's used actually all over the place. The reason you can kill the Act 1 boss so fast is for that reason. Same with the Act 3 boss. And it's used on Jackie-O as well, the last boss, the first form. If you took that out of the game, you would probably lose like 10 seconds, maybe even more.
Wow.
Yeah, additionally, landing on the ground will also reset the same cooldown. So, like, suppose you had no shadow clones and no power-ups, and you just sat there jumping. You could, both by landing and by jumping, you could cancel the cooldowns. So, like, if you slash right before you land, that cooldown's gone. You can slash again immediately on the ground. As soon as you hit the enemy on the ground, jump and slash again. So you can do ideally like 3 hits, like in really fast succession, by landing, slashing, and then jumping and slashing again. So, and the same cooldown reduction also applies to using ninjutsu, like Art of the Firewheel, but it'll only work if all of the projectiles are off the screen. So you have to make sure that if you want to cancel the cooldown by jumping and using another, shooting another Art of the Firewheel, that all of your previous Firewheel shots are gone, or they've hit the boss or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the only way to defeat like Act 1 and Act 3 bosses like faster, like before the next cycle that slows it down a lot.
Yeah, when I talked to Ohan at AGDQ, he actually told me a better strat for Jackie-O 1 that he was trying to do in his run, but messed it up, which does what Duffus said with the triple slash canceling. So like you want to slash and then while you're falling and slash and then jump and slash again. You actually end this stage at the same time but with 8 extra ninpo that way. So that's one little improvement that we have now. That's the only place that's used in the game though, the triple cancel.
And you might be wondering why we don't slash more bosses just because, you know, you have your 2 shadow clones. For some reason, like, suppose you position yourself so that both of your shadow clones are right on top of you and you're facing some boss, and you all 3 slash at the same time. For some reason with sword slashes, it'll only do 1 damage. If all 3 of them slash at the same time, it only does 1 damage. But for some other strange reason, if you ninjutsu, like throw an Art of the Fire Wheel or a shuriken or something, all 3 of the projectiles will do damage. So that's why, like, the only way to do fast damage in this game is either just by sword canceling or using ninjutsu with all 3 of your, with the 2 shadow clones. So that's why, like, if you're just standing in front of a boss and you're just like mashing with all 3 guys, it's only doing 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage. But the only way to really do damage fast is to, you know, use Art of the Fire Wheel. 1 shot will do 3 damage since all 3 did it.
Wow. We're going into Ninja Gaiden 1. I think.
You can talk some more about Ninja Gaiden 2 if there's still stuff you want to say.
Let me undo that.
Or you
I
can jump over
don't
to
think
Ninja
there's
Gaiden 2
anything
part of the race.
Yeah, I think I'm about done.
Well, I'll cover something. You know, we talked a little bit about canceling. 2 is the only of the 3 games where, you know, there is canceling, of course, but there's no way to, like, do really, really fast mashing or something to do fast attacks. Like in both 1 and 3, you know, they have their own ways of doing the sword canceling, but you can do it in such a way that you just repeatedly attack. In 2, the only way is by jumping or landing, so there's no way to really, like, mash and get it. It's all about, you know, very, very strict timing, no mashing.
You can watch on the quick kill here. Right at the end, you'll see me slash and then jump and then slash. If you don't do that, you really can't kill the boss. Oh yeah, there's moonwalking here too, which is another thing. If you use a special and hold back, you'll be going in the direction you're facing until the animation wears off. So that's one of the reasons you can kill that boss, because you don't actually turn around.
And killing the boss this way is extremely precise. Like, all of your hits have to register. You know, you can't press the button too early or too late, and you have to sword cancel. If you don't, there's just not enough time to defeat him. And, you know, sword canceling, it shaves off that time, that 20 frame cooldown. So, like, it's at such a tight window that in order to kill him before he runs into you, you have to cancel it. So there's like you only have 20 frames to work with here to actually get this correct. For the longest time, it's really, really hard to learn too. Once you get it down, it's not too hard, but it's surprisingly, like, technical. Like, it's almost like a fighting game how the input works. Like, it's slashes, and then what is it, like 4 Art of the Fire Wheels, and you're backing it, you're walking while you're doing them. Like, every other fire wheel you shoot, you moonwalk backwards, and you sword slash again, jump, sword slash. So the input is like B B B B. Up B left, up B left, up B B A B, like something like that. It's very, very precise. It's surprisingly cool. Very cool. What were you saying, Jim?
Go ahead.
I tried to do this quickly when I got home from AGDQ, and I tried for like 10 minutes. I did it at once.
Yeah, I still mess it up all the time. It's really, really hard.
Hoda Ruby came up with this strat, actually. And I remember his P when I was running it for PB attempts. His P had it in it. And it was something that I kind of gave up on doing. Like, I was able to do it, but I couldn't. I could maybe do it 1 in 10, 1 in 15, and I did not want to be resetting on Act 1. So I decided not to do it. But that was one of the most amazing things in his run. Probably the most amazing thing in his run.
Actually, his was even better, too, because he didn't cancel at the end. That was introduced later, I think.
That's right, yeah. I think by moonwalking backwards, there's still just enough. I think he changes up the time that he does his sword slashes. Like, I like the way that you do it now. It's way more consistent this way. But,
this way you would...
Sorry.
I was going to say, this way you only moonwalk every other fire wheel. It's a lot easier, but if you try to do it how Ruby does it, I think he moonwalks between every fire wheel.
Yeah,
the input is a lot harder that way. Mm-hmm. But this is faster anyways because you that cancel at the end.
Right.
Still, his is very impressive.
But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2, it's very... I feel, I've run all 3, at least to some extent, at least learned them. I feel that this is the best one of the three as far as like pure speedrunning skill goes and competition goes. This is the one to do. I mean, it's just basic movement is extreme. There's a lot of subtleties to it. It's extremely technical. There's hardly any randomness in this game, especially compared to 1 and 3.
Yeah, I was
There's
gonna
pretty
ask
much no
you that.
randomness in this category. Like the final boss, the final form of the final boss is the only real random element you'll find in this category. There's some, I use this term sometimes loosely, like practical randomness, stuff like frame perfect or sub-pixel perfect or something that you can't predict whether or not it'll work, but not a whole lot. And I don't know, just really, really subtle movement tech, like, you know, slashing in midair to have the full speed moving backwards, all the canceling technique, wall climbing and jumping over the top of walls. It's all really, really interesting, and it's very satisfying. It's a really short game to run, too. So all those factors put in together, I think it's one of the best speed games out there.
Yeah, this one I think has the best music too. Like, music is pretty good in all of them, but in my opinion, this one has the best.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Soundtrack's pretty badass. I like it a lot. I mean, it keeps you playing the game. I mean, it's important. So I really recommend learning this game if you're interested in you know, classic platformers. This has a lot to offer. It's also a really short run. I'd say it's too difficult to get under like 15 minutes once you're able to beat the game consistently and see how fun it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
This is also the only of the three games that is exactly identical between the Japanese and the US version. There's a tiny difference between the versions in 1, and in 3 they're just completely different, but this one's identical. So, good
I
stuff.
didn't know there was a difference in 1. What is that?
There's a single, like, item orb, like things that drop items or ninpo, or you know, weapons or whatever. That's like position 16 pixels higher in the Japanese version. That's it. That's literally the only difference, other than the cooler title screen.
Okay.
What makes it
I'll
so
point it out
different?
if you want in the next video.
What makes it so different in Ninja Gaiden 3?
Everything.
In 3, yeah, a lot of stuff. Like, you have continues in the American version, and you have unlimited continues in the Japanese version. Enemies do more damage to you in the American version. I think the enemy placement, or the item are a little
Items
different.
are different as well, yeah.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
get like a
which
lot
items
of
drop
more,
from
you
which
get a
orbs.
lot of more invincible fire wheels. Like in some stages there are like 2 or 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
So the
and
English version
like
is
the sword
harder.
extension is yeah, American is harder.
It's way harder.
That's why we play it.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Japan of 3 is probably the easiest of the trilogy, but if you play US, then it's way, way harder.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
neat.
weird how that works. It's by far the easiest in the Japanese version. It's by far the hardest in the American version.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, yeah, probably by far the hardest. I mean, it sucks in 1 that you go back to 6-1 and you die against a final boss, but, I mean, at least there's a way to kind of do it. You pretty much have to learn how to speedrun the game if you want to actually beat Ninja Gaiden. Or just have an incredible amount of patience and learn how to sword kill the final bosses. But yeah, why don't we go on to Ninja Gaiden 1? I think that kind of covers it. I mean, yeah, it pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. So Ninja Gaiden 1. This is a game that I've actually played. No, I'm just kidding. I played all the Ninja Gaiden. But I'm,
Hey, you can talk.
I have a sort of fondness for this game.
You
I
ran
don't know why.
sword only, didn't you?
I learned the sword only route, yeah, but. So this game, one of the main differences is, well, in the casual player would remember is that you can't climb walls normally. You have to wall climb by jumping. And of course, the other thing is spin slash, the OE technique that you're using in almost every stage, except for the 3rd stage, right? The 3rd stage you're using.
Yeah, that's right.
The fire. But other than that, you're mostly just spin slashing the bosses.
So when I was younger, I never knew that Spin Slash did such insane damage. It's like, this thing is useless. I can't attack in the air without using Ninpo, and I have to be right next to the enemy to do damage. Why would I ever use this thing?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I guess I'll go over the basics of ninjutsu usage to make kind of make this clear. In all 3 games, you have a sub-weapon. Other than your normal sword slash at the top of the screen, you'll see a little icon, and that's your sub-weapon. They cost a little bit of info, which is like ammunition. It's a little number to the left of it with the Japanese symbol. And to activate it, just like in Castlevania, to use a sub-weapon, you hold up and you press B. Interestingly enough, like, you have to hold exactly up. You can't hold left or right to do it. So every time in all 3 games that you decide to use, ninjutsu to help you clear their path of enemies, it forces you to stop briefly. It's as fast as you can release holding right or left or whatever, pressing up and then B, and then repressing right or left. You want to do it as fast as you can, but if you're too fast, you can potentially screw it up and not use it or something. But you also want to be fast so you don't stop for very long. So it's kind of a trade-off. It's a technique that takes a little while to get consistently good at it, I guess. But a couple of special ninjutsu don't actually need to be activated this way. In Ninja Gaiden 1, Spin Slash is one of those where that same sort of thing doesn't apply. All you do is when you're in midair, you just press the B button and activate Spin Slash. It costs 5 info. And Spin Slash just kills everything. It does make you invincible, practically. It destroys projectiles, it destroys any enemy you touch in one hit, and particularly against bosses, if you manage to keep it all the way until the boss, it's 1 damage per frame that your hit intersects the boss. So that pretty much means you kill him instantly, which is pretty cool. Just the challenge with Spin Slash, the game is still very challenging because you have to traverse most of the stages without it. It's also knowing which item orbs are in this game. They're like weird graphics sometimes, like these floating bugs, drop which items, because the worst thing that you can do when you have Spin Slash is accidentally swap it out for another item. Then it's gone, and then you can't kill the boss fast. So that means you pretty much have to learn what's in every single one of these item orbs. And that's probably the most challenging thing in learning the game, is just knowing where all the drops are at. But having said that, another challenge with Spin Slash is that, it forces you to use it in midair when you press the B button. Fortunately, the game developers put in a thing where if you hold down and press B while in midair, you just do a regular sword slash. Again, this is also kind of a trade-off because, it forces you to stand still when you want to cancel a sword slash. That's pretty much it. There's some, you lose your sub-weapon in between acts, so you're always forced to, find the Spin Slash again. In some cases, like here, Act 3, there is no Spin Slash. This is the only act where you have to defeat the boss without it. Turns out the next best thing, Art of the Fire Wheel, which shoots 3 projectiles, allowing you to do a little bit faster damage. But that's pretty much it. There's also the sword canceling technique, which is probably the most basic of the 3 games. It's just a mashing technique. I think it has to do with the Spin Slash canceling thing, where you use, it allows you to slash the sword in midair by holding down and B. For some reason, that code that enabled that kind of invited a bug that canceled the cooldown every time you did it. So if you're in midair without Spin Slash and you just hold down and press B, release down B, and repress down and B, it just slashes again. It ignores the cooldown completely. But the difficulty in the technique is you have to release both down and B before pressing them again. So, and down has to be held while pressing B. So it's not like you can use both thumbs to do this really, really fast. Most people will use one hand to press both down and B so that their mashing them is the same because it's the same hand, if that makes any sense. It's kind of tricky, but what's cool about it is everybody has their own way of doing it. And it's almost necessary to master this to defeat the final bosses of the game fast. And it's really important because the final bosses of the game are very difficult. Very, very difficult. And if you die, the run is completely done. There's no way to recover at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, Spiesel said there's wall climbing is also very difficult to master in this game. You can't be holding up while you attempt to do the wall climbing. It just doesn't work. So it's just really, really precise movements like left and right. There are a few ladders where you just have to hold up, but not very many of them. Like here at the end of a screen, there's a ladder usually, but for the most part, you're doing really technical wall climbing. It's probably the most challenging thing in the game, really, is to pick up mechanically is the wall climbing when you're learning it, to do it fast and reliably.
I think the most challenging thing in the game is sword canceling Jack 2. That's all.
Oh, that's yeah.
I think that's the hardest. The sword canceling in the second Dracula 2 fight.
Yeah,
I agree.
You can master wall climbing. I don't think you can ever truly master like consistent sword canceling and getting like 3 cycle or even a 2 cycle on like Jackie 2. And the final boss as well is also really difficult. And you're forced to sword cancel because when you defeat the first final boss form, it takes away your ninpo, or it takes away your ninjutsu for the next forms of the final boss. Yeah. What else?
This game's a real jerk, and if you die at the boss, you go all the way back to the beginning of the stage. If you die at the final boss, you go back to the beginning of the world.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Also, the hitboxes in this game make no sense, by the way. They make no sense. Like, you pretty much have to memorize a different timing for pretty much every enemy in the game. Like, I don't know why it works like that, but Sinister said always pretend you're punching an enemy when you're attempting to attack. Just because you have to be, like, right next to the guy for the sword to actually hit. There's so many times where you just see the sword pass right through the enemy, nothing happens, and you're just like, what the hell? I clearly hit him. What's going on?
There's a hitbox script for the emulator you can look at, and a lot of the enemies just don't have a hitbox on their head. It's just like completely missing. So usually you can't hit the head.
Either. I think it's just like a straight line, right? It's just like a line, a vertical line.
Yeah, I know where you have the line.
Oh, I think because your sword is just a single pixel, right? The hitbox on your sword itself is just a pixel at the tip of your sword.
I don't remember it. All I know is the hitboxes are really bad in this game.
Oh, those pink jetpack ninjas.
Yeah, they're one of the more annoying enemies.
We got the sex cranker. Here it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like 2, you don't, there's no ceilings and all of the walls stop at the top of the screen, but you can keep going up. So there's a lot of instances where you can just jump over the top of the screen and still somehow grab the ladder. You'll see that even when climbing a ladder where you only have to hold up or down, it's still faster to wall climb while you're doing it. It's really, really challenging to do this though because you have to release pressing up when you press left or right. But it's still much faster if you're actually able to wall climb as you're climbing the ladder. You'll see Ohon do this a lot in his run, and it's incredibly difficult to do because of just the crazy technique on the D-pad. Also, the game's kind of annoying that you just clip through the wall sometimes when you're wall climbing. You just slip right through it. And if you fall and you touch the bottom of the screen, you die. So, if you're too fast, the game punishes you for it, which is kind of awful. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the main stuff is find the spin slash, know all the item positions so you don't accidentally lose it, and you keep spin slash for the final boss. Make sure you have at least 5 ninpo, and that's pretty much it. Memorize the jump timings and the slash timings on all the enemies, and you're pretty much good. Oh, and master the sword canceling for the final boss.
Yeah, of course.
What about some of the RNG, like the Hammer Brothers?
Yeah, that's the biggest RNG factor in this game. Is there's one enemy. He has different sprites and different levels, but it's the same mechanics. We call them the Hammer Brothers just because they're as random as Hammer Brothers and Mario, and they throw like hammers, sort of. I mean, it's almost the same thing. They're random in whether or not they move left or right, how far left or right they move, and when they throw hammers. So, ideally, they move in the right direction and they don't throw anything. But that rarely happens, and they're in almost every level. So it's, there's strategies you can have to bypass most of them consistently, but, unpredictable stuff happens all the time. And when they throw a hammer at just the right time and it kills you, we call that the God Hammer. There's nothing you can do about it. Gaiden 1, it's the way the game is.
This hammer up here, he's the classic God Hammer brother. He's the one that does it the most, I think.
Yep, he's tainted with God Hammers all over the place.
Right after that bird boost.
Yeah, that's a cool bird. So, I agree that the boosting mechanics in Ninja Gaiden 2 are pretty much superior from all 3 games. But I think Ninja Gaiden 1 has the most interesting boosts like available to it, just based on the level design.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
a lot of really cool ways to like manipulate keeping a bird on the screen, just moving back and forth in just the right way, so that he's right underneath you, right when you need to make a long jump, stuff like that. We also moved a little bit in stage 5-1. There's a really strange kind of glitch in the game where if you stop moving horizontally on the same like frame that an enemy spawns, he drops through the ground, or maybe only on specific enemies. And you can abuse this to make one enemy drop a little bit so that he's within damage boosting range, allowing you to climb up to the pillar like 1 second faster. You know, these games are incredibly optimized. You know, getting good at it is down to, you know, these really, really small, specific, and very difficult time savers that hardly save any time. And we saw Ohon there, you know, wreck the final form of the final boss with a very risky strategy where he jumps over the tail and does sword canceling. And that's very tricky because, you know, when you land on the ground, you hit the tail again. So ideally, you know, you move forward, jump, move forwards, down B, down B, down B, down B, move backwards before you land so you don't get hit. You know, it's really, really demanding technical input. It's very difficult to do, but it's pretty much just if you want to get the best time in this game at this point.
I just looked at the run, like, and looking for mistakes or like improvements, and I think there was like 2 seconds that he can gain on this run.
Yeah, he got hit backwards.
One second was from a turret there before the the twins, exactly. That was a trolling moment, and then like a second on like optimization move, which is insane during this run.
Yeah, this game is the one that's probably the most optimized. Like, I used to say that about 2, but there's more and more room for new strategies in 2. There really haven't been any new strategies that have been found in this game. There's always, you know, there's still a couple of opportunities to kill the final bosses faster, but not many. Act 3 boss can still be killed a little bit faster, but it's very, very hard. Like, Ohon introduced it, so what's kind of frustrating is, like, Exo had the record before Ohon for a long time, and it's only like 1 second slower. I don't know the frame count, but it's about 1 second. And what's weird is you watch Exo's run, and it is almost perfect. There aren't any visible mistakes. He doesn't make any mistakes. You know, he executes all of his strategy perfectly, except for, you know, the possible faster ways to kill the final boss just by somehow being faster. For the most part, he does it perfectly, though. He executes all this strategy exactly the way that he set out to do it. And then in Ohon's run here, there are visible mistakes, but he has better strategy. So it's like this, okay, well, he had a perfect run, but now there's strategies. We have a run that's faster, but it's not as well executed, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's still amazing, but it's not perfect towards Ohon's original strategy for executing the speedrun, if that makes any sense. So, you know, there's still a little bit of improvement on his execution. Just not very much. So it's a very tightly optimized game, and you know, I think the only last strat that I can remember came out. Okay, there was maybe 2 strats, like a slightly faster kill on the Act 3 boss, and that crazy 5-1 damage boost I talked about, where you like stop on the pixel when an enemy spawns and make them drop lower. That's pretty much it. I can't think of any other real improvements that have been made. I mean,
what about the Jackie 2 cycle? Does anybody do that?
Gus Mancini.
Nobody does.
Gus Mancini?
Gus Mancini is the only person to ever done it. He's only done it once, I think.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. The match has to be really, really, really good.
Yeah, so Jackie 2's hitbox is really high up in the air. He's moving back and forth. There's fireballs on the screen. And to get the 2 cycle, you have to slash him 4 times, twice on each of the 2 passes to deal exactly 16 damage to kill him. It's pretty nuts. Like, I've done like 4 hits on jumps before. I sometimes get it, but not 4 times in a row. Like, Jackie 2 is probably the hardest part of this game, no matter how good you get at it.
Right.
It's
yeah. I was thinking, should we wrap up with a general how to get into Ninja Gaidens and then move into records? Does that sound good?
Yeah,
Are
sure.
we gonna play the relay?
All right.
Well, we can't really now because it's 45 minutes long.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was still part of the plan.
We got it here, but we weren't sure if we were going to play that or the individual runs.
We could start playing it now, but while we're talking about how to get
Yeah,
into it.
alright.
Yeah, go for that.
Oh, damn it.
Or I'll just do my bit, and the other runners can chime in. But yeah, for all three of the games, they all have similar mechanics and the approach you need to take to learn it. Like, it's all about finding which items drop where. You pretty much have to know all of that. Fortunately, the games are short and it's not very hard to learn. You just have to play through it a few times. Maybe look at some maps and just practice getting exactly what you want, and then that's pretty much it. And then just getting some of the techniques down. Techniques are different in each game, so just pick which one you like more and study the techniques. There's only a handful of techniques in each game. We're talking about like wall climbing, clipping through walls, damage boosting, and then maybe some of the canceling tricks between the three games. But for the most part, the biggest thing to learning the game is knowing where the items drop. In Ninja Gaiden 1, find the spin slash. Ninja Gaiden 2, grab your shadow clones and Art of the Firewheel. Ninja Gaiden 3, grab Art of the Firewheel or Vacuum Blade usually. And then just make sure you don't accidentally lose them. And that's pretty much it.
As I say, this layout
thing
does
about-
not squish nicely into 4.3 at all. This really does not work out.
Good thing for Ninja Gaiden 3 for like casual players is that you can see in the orbs what's inside. So you don't you'll see what power up there is there, so you don't have to like open everyone up and learn like, oh, what's here, what's there. You just see it right away.
Yeah, Crack and Jimmy, you got any things to say about learning the game? Learning your games?
Well, if you want to learn too, I actually made a tutorial series for every stage. So you can check that out on my channel, and for the quick kills as well.
Should link that in the chat
For-
if you can.
Yeah, link one of them.
Yeah, I can do
We
that.
promise you won't get banned.
One thing I've heard is people seem to have different ideas of which games are harder to learn. Like, I was talking to Dexter, who's racing right now, and he said he thought Ninja Gaiden 2 was a lot harder to learn than 1, but actually felt that 1 was harder. So I guess it's really up to personal preference. So maybe pick what game you like the most, or think looks the coolest, and go from there. If you don't like it, try another one. You never know which one you might like the most. I don't know all that much about 3 as a speedrun, so maybe Crack or Reach can chime in there.
Yeah, we'd definitely love to help out for new NG3 runners. We really need NG3 runners bad.
Yeah.
It's basically just me and Rich at the top and like Liger after that, like 30 seconds behind. So like, I know it's really strange is there's people that don't even run it and they find strats for like new things that we have about it, but they don't run the game like specifically. And I've tried to get people to run the game and they just kind of get turned off because of the difficulty. But I would say if you like the game, just run it.
Yeah, I've
play it
learned
enough
all
times,
3
you'll get it.
games. Oh, sorry. I don't really remember anything between learning any of the 3 games that I felt was harder to learn or anything than any of the other games. Like they all, I progressed pretty smoothly in all 3 games and learned them. I think. I guess I want to say that 1 was probably a little harder than like 2, but I don't really know. I think I just took 2 a little further because I ended up liking it a little bit more. So it probably just comes down to that. So if you've never even played any of the 3 games but are somehow interested in running it, my suggestion, instead of just telling you which game is easier to run, is just to play all 3 games and find out which one you like the most. I mean, that's pretty much what's going to keep you at it. I don't think there's not any huge differences between the 3 that make learning it a completely different experience than learning any of the other 2. It really just comes down to which game you like better, and that'll determine your progress.
Agreed.
One thing too, don't get too intimidated by the difficulty. Like, these games have a huge reputation for being hard games, but to speedrun, they're still hard, but I don't think it's like as bad. Like you shouldn't really be intimidated that it's a hard game necessarily.
Yeah, like I've always felt that the Ninja Gaiden games have some of the biggest gaps between the difficulty of the speedrun and the difficulty of the casual play, you know, compared to other games. They go from like taking 5-6 hours to beat for the first time to beating in 10-12 minutes. You know, it changes completely once you learn the speedrun. It's completely different from a casual playthrough.
That's actually how I started playing Ninja Gaiden, which was my first speedrun game. I just watched the SRL races between Duckfist, Sister, and Dexter, and some other guys. And I was thinking to myself, like, hey, I can do it. I want to play this, and I want to try this out. And I never beat the game as a kid, so let's do it now. And I ended up playing it, and I really liked it, and I just kept going.
You never played NG3 as a kid?
Nope.
Neither did I.
It's I think it's one.
I played
really
one and that was it.
I think it's super expensive in Europe actually. So
I
never had Ninja Gaiden 1 either. Just my brother's friend had it, so I played it like a little of the beginning when I was at his house. But other than that, I had no experience with the game other than I knew it was really hard.
I hadn't played Ninja Gaiden 1 until ESA 2013. And I've played more of Ninja Gaiden Master System than I have Ninja Gaiden NES.
Oh, that's a cool game too. That's
really
an awesome
cool
game, actually.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yo, any of the ninjas in here that haven't played Master System Ninja Gaiden, check it out. It's pretty sweet.
Dude,
That's a real legit
It's good.
game.
that's a really fun casual too. Courtesy of the not the fire shield glitch is great. It's a lot of fun.
That's a silly glitch. Most people will get it just.
You get
on
it
a casual
casually.
playthrough.
I got it without realizing. And then had it explained to me by Rasmus. Or Adam, it might have been Adam. But anyway, right, are we good to move on to records? Are there any last things? You guys say anything, shoutouts? Do you guys still do relay races? I know you do relays. What I meant to say is, do you still do weekly races of Ninja Gaiden?
We've been talking about it to get back to it. Like,
Me and
Sinister
Rich
wants
said
to
we're
do
gonna
it,
do
but
that.
yeah, me and Cracker, we said we had to do like 17 on SRL, so.
There was a while where we were doing 2 races, probably in like October and November. We were doing them weekly, but it seemed to die out. But I'm always up for racing if anyone wants to. I know that there's some people that are learning it, so if you have interest, let me know and we'll try to get that set up again.
Alrighty, cool. We're gonna move into records then, as soon as I figure out how to actually do this gracefully. Which is gonna
It's
take
like
a
the work
little
on
bit.
the R button.
And if anyone have any questions, by the way, about the speedruns itself, don't hesitate to ask. Like, we just welcome more people to the community. So.
Yeah, like I said, we really, really, really need NG3 runners. This is.
Oh yeah, just a AGDQ recap. If you didn't know, there was a Ninja Gaiden relay race at AGDQ last month, or earlier this. No, last month now. Okay.
Yeah, last month.
Technically last
And it was awesome. Both we had.
It's really
Rich.
close.
Spoiler alert.
It was really close. It was the best race pretty much ever. It was pretty much the best race ever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. It was so good. But yeah, we had both Rich, Jimmy, and Crack Attack here in the call. We're all in it. We had 6 Ninja Gaiden runners of the 3 games, and Sinister One and I commentated it. It was a blast. It went really well. We did some practice sessions, and it was really cool to meet everybody. So we had InfestedRiche, Jimmypoopins, Crack Attack, Dexter, Ohon, and Gus Mancini, all representing Ninja Gaiden. And they did an awesome job. It was pretty cool to see a relay race live, and through some, restream situation. It was very smooth, and there was cool, like, console game switching that you normally didn't get to see.
It's going to become a thing, I believe. It's got to
Hope
be.
so.
It's got to after that, but
Like, I'd be impressed if there was if people found a better series to relay race, not only to relay race, but at a live event. Like Mega Man relay races are pretty sweet. The Final Fantasy relay races are pretty sweet, but
You can't
it's
quite
hard.
have
I
a
don't
Final
think
Fantasy
those are
relay.
appropriate for a live event. Like,
Yeah.
A 7 to 9 relay race.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Mega Man ones, but yeah, Ninja Gaiden hits that sweet spot of length and just quality of runs too. So,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, that video's running now. UA said in the chat that it's still processing on YouTube. YouTube's not happy about it, but it will be up soon, hopefully. Okie doke. So for
If you guys have not seen this relay race, please do yourself a huge favor and watch it.
Yeah, definitely one of the best runs of AGDQ.
and not watch it like you're watching it now, cramped in this tiny box. Like, go watch
Right,
it
yeah.
properly.
GameSpot actually did they did a video on YouTube the week after AGDQ where they did the top 5 moments of AGDQ and they put this relay race up there.
Yeah, some of their choices
Oh,
were
cool.
rather questionable, but this one wasn't.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, for records, are all of you guys sticking around? You're all welcome to stay. If any of you want to go do something else, that's fine too, but you know, you're all welcome.
I have some work to get done. I should get going. But
Alright,
thank you.
no problem.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
It's
thanks
our
for stopping
pleasure.
by, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone
Yeah,
follows
take it
Jimmy.
easy, Jimmy.
Wow, that was...
Good luck on getting that sub 1020.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you guys.
seriously.
Yeah, we'll bring
It's
for you.
gonna be
Put
fun.
your Twitch link in chat again.
Okay.
And, go follow this dude.
Alright. Throw it out there.
I guess I'll stick around then.
Yeah, so for you guys who do not know, at home and in the call, we have our lovely document of records. You get to see it in not exciting Excel spreadsheet form, but in interesting, cool, on the screen form, with highlight videos and so on. I'm going to read through, got some comments all sent in, and Crack Attack, you already know this, but Crack, if you want to butt in for any of them, just shout, and if not, we'll randomly assign you records based on moon cycles or something along those lines.
Alright, I know some of these already.
That's good, that's good. So, kicking off, we have P-Jeezel.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kajeezel.
P-Jeezel. Tell us all about it. Go on.
All right.
You've been
Will
dying
do.
to.
So this is ActRaiser 2 for Super Nintendo. Any percent hard mode. 4405 is my new PB. Yeah, it's a 50-second improvement over my oldest PB, but I've done so much rerouting since I got that run that there's still a long ways to go. I want to get a sub 43 to start with, and then maybe do like a final reroute and then grind from there. But this is just an incredibly hard game, and the time gains are really, really minimal, and the punishment for missing any of them is pretty huge. So just finishing the game at all is really hard. But yeah, you know, it's a good start. I'm pretty pumped to get some new splits to compare against. And I've been playing really, really well lately, which is exciting. I think I had 2 attempts that were actually ahead of the TAS after like 5 or 6 minutes. And some that were only like 6 or 7 seconds behind the TAS after maybe 15 minutes. So my pace has been really strong. I'm excited to keep going.
Alright, cool. Next up, we got Ark the Lad.
Yo, I'll talk about this one.
Yo,
I don't
okay.
think anybody else has played this.
Good,
I'm gonna
go
do
for
that. I'm not an expert, but I just have a feeling I'm the only one.
Okay, so we got an expert here. Duckfist is gonna explain this from an expert
Well, pro.
perspective.
I know everything about this game. My uncle worked on this game actually. So we have Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits on PlayStation 2, any percent, in 10 hours, 31 minutes, and 18 seconds by Chuckleator. Chuck says, oh, he introduces the game right here. Okay. saves me trouble. It says, Arc the Lad Twilight Spirits is a strategy RPG for PS2. I developed the route on my own, and as of writing, I am the only runner. This run, in 10 hours 31 minutes 18 seconds, beat my old PB / world record by almost 6 minutes. Most of them better execution, but with a little better luck as well. Unfortunately, a mistake around 5 hours in cost me about 3 minutes, so I fell short of my goal of sub 10:30. Regardless, I'm pretty happy with it. I hope to achieve that goal on the next run, which should be fairly free if I do not make any major mistakes. So, pretty cool. This is an awesome game, actually. This is it's a pretty neat game. 10 hours is crazy time.
That's long.
I don't think yeah, it's super long. I don't think I've played more than like a few hours of the game, but I remember it being pretty cool. So Arc the Lad is like a strategy tactical RPG series, and this was the first one of the series that had a kind of a battle system like this. Like, it's turn-based like the previous games, but the tactics in it are a little different. Like, it gives you almost like a Quest 64 style, like little movement bubble that you can run around in before you actually make a turn. So for each unit has its own turn, and you can move around. Each unit moves around its own little bubble to run and perform an action, and then it switches to the next guy. And the enemies have the same mechanics. So it's kind of it's a pretty cool mechanic in a RPG. Any good RPG is going to have entertaining and deep combat system. And I thought this game had a pretty cool one with it. So I think a speedrun would be pretty interesting, just to see the optimal positioning and actions in every battle. So it's pretty neat. Good job, Chuck.
Sweet. Yeah.
Alright, cool. This next one, Blood Rain Betrayal. This game I've actually played, believe it or not. It's Castlevania-y, but it's more based on the combat style of it than Castlevania is. Basically, they made. Do you remember those very average Blood Rain games they made in like, I don't know, 2002 or something on PS2? And Blood Rain herself.
Oh, dude.
Do you remember her? She was in Playboy. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So the Blood Rain game was developed like 5 minutes from where I grew up.
No way.
In Louisville, Texas. Yep. Like the company that developed Terminal Reality would like come to my university's computer science thing and like try to get people to intern and all that shit. I actually got the Terminal Reality guys to. I won like second place in this game programming thing, and I got a signed copy of Ghostbusters 360.
Nice.
Sorry, every time I think of Blood Rain, I think of Terminal Reality.
You've got it. With a story like that, that's great. But this is Blood Rain Betrayal. It's PC. This is 80% New Game Plus in 108.41 by Tharn. Says, finally got a new PB, still has some stupid deaths inside, so we'll improve. But this game's pretty good. I played it. I didn't like it, wasn't quite as responsive as I'd hoped, but it's pretty fun to get through. What you're seeing looks especially Castlevania-y, but I promise you it's more about combat than it looks. But this is, I'm not sure if this was a different team altogether. I feel like this was a completely different team that were given the rights to Blood Rain to make this. So, but that's I mean, look at it. I mean, it really does look like Castlevania, but you gotta believe me, guys.
Yeah. I don't know, Flicky, your credibility is dropping.
Yeah.
This looked actually cool. If that company was developing games like this, I'd be like, hey, I might actually apply. But
no, I think this is
I'm just so used to Blood Rain, like with the Uwe movie.
Oh,
that's
God. I watched the Uwe
like one of the worst
movie.
movies ever made.
Probably not a surprise for you guys that I watched it, but loved it. Terrible, awful, but loved it.
Right?
I just remember her being in Playboy.
How many weeks did it take?
But yeah, a lot of drinking. Just forget Playboy, Blood Rain, forget the PS2 Blood Rains. This game is pretty good. And I added her.
This looks way better than the other two, man.
I like the
animation. You can
animation.
even turn into a bat. This is Castlevania.
Just all over the place.
Crystal Flash, too.
It's not.
Right.
It's not Castlevania. It's totally different.
That air dash looks really cool.
Yeah. I actually added some clips to his highlight to try and help me make my point that the game's good. Alright, next up, this is a Disney game, so I feel immediately obliged to give it to Reach as a Swede. Because you guys love Disney over there.
It's true.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
We have Castle of Illusion HD for PC 100%, done in 34 minutes 15 seconds by Crazy Rasmus, Norwegian dude.
Yes.
And he says, I've been grinding this game for a little over a month now, and I finally got a decent run. This run beats the previous record by a minute due to route optimizations and some new strats and glitches. Sub 34 is open for grabs with the current route, but I'm not sure if I'll be going for it, as I'm wanting to play the superior Master System version.
Don't laugh.
I'm also
He's
going
right.
to wait until the competition catch up. Cough.
He's right. Master System version is
Yeah,
also good.
There are a few Scandinavians playing this game right now
Yeah, there's a
among
bunch.
Crazy Rasmus. I think there's like Nadua, also Norwegian, but I think
Still alright.
Dino, Gruk or something.
What was that? He's also Norwegian, but I hear
No,
that.
I didn't say any buts.
Yeah.
No buts. No.
All right.
Yeah, but they are pushing this game pretty hard, actually, at the moment.
Good.
Yeah. I can tell what some of the submissions for future marathons are going to be.
Yep.
A lot of Mickey Mouse. All right. Hey, Castlevania though.
Oh, man.
Which one of you? Don't all fight.
I want this one.
Okay, well it's yours
Yep.
for the
so,
low
this
price.
This is Castlevania Bloodlines, probably my favorite Genesis game, which isn't saying a whole heck of a lot, but this game's spectacular. By Clage, of course. This is the John Morris category, expert difficulty, in 2954. So he says, after 4 years of attempts, I'm finally able to clear the sub 30 mark with John Morris. This run has almost no notable errors, leaving maybe 2 to 3 seconds total of time on the table in terms of execution. RNG in this run was well above average, and I couldn't be happier with the run. Unless a new routing is discovered or someone actually comes close to challenging this time, I'm finally done running Morris for time. This run was everything I wanted and more. The true highlight being that I got a gold split final stage, which is just absurd given how much pressure I put on myself when runs go deep. Yeah, the RNG in this game can be completely crippling. It's really ridiculous.
You get patterns within patterns game.
It's just insane. Like, so the harpy behavior in stage 3 is a good example, because they can do basically whatever they want, and then when you kill them, there's a chance that they'll just be decapitated, which, like, their head flies off and there's blood spraying all over, and it causes a ton of lag, and they still live afterwards, and then continue to do random things. And there's like 5 or 6 of them on that screen. So, like, sometimes you just get an unwinnable pattern. And if you get hit at all in this game, you lose your weapon. Like, you get this super powered up whip, and if you get hit, you go back to like the basic whip. So you lose all of your attack power. So he has to play through the entire game without getting hit, or else he loses like a ridiculous amount of time. And yeah, he got like a perfect final stage, which is a 10-minute long boss rush. So this run's absolutely ridiculous. This is like an 8-second PB, and he's been cutting like a second or 2 off at a time.
All right.
Definitely need to watch that run. If you watch his highlight though, oh, you're gonna like mute the speakers or something for the end, because his victory celebration is
loud.
pretty intense.
It's the best thing I've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Okie doke. So on our next page, you may thought that the 10-hour run was the longest run we got submitted this week. Well, you're wrong. It's not. We have a 16-hour, 14-minute, 47-second run by High Spirits of Dragon Warrior 7 on PS1. I think that's the longest. I think that's longer than I've been awake since AGDQ, so that's pretty impressive for that alone. But it says, after several miserable attempts, I finally got this run. Died 3 times early, which is expected of this game. Second half game was near perfect. Should be possible to sub 16, but that would require surviving the hell that is Dharma. I like that that's his problem. Not the fact that finding 16 hours to do it. Nope.
Yeah.
And then continuing the long, but I mean, by comparison, not that long, Dragon Warrior runs. We have Dragon Warrior 4 on NES, any%, 7 hours, 17 minutes, 41 seconds by Everhate, who says, beats the previous record of 8:01:20. Oh my god, what? 8:01:24 to 7:17:41. Oh my god. Still a lot of improvement possible for this route. Sub 7 should be easable doable when someone gets a run that isn't terrible. Insert details that make no sense to people unfamiliar with the game here. Insert bacon here. I blame Everhate. He wrote those, obviously. Yeah. Good job, Everhate. Well done. Okay. Feasel, I think we always give this one to you, and I think at this point it's just...
Yeah, I'm always the first question.
We never... I think we're too ashamed to actually ask if you know anything about this game or not. We just keep giving it to you, kind of like we did with Duckfist and Felix the Cat. But
wait, he ran Felix the Cat.
Yeah.
did he though?
Yeah.
And I also learned to run Fester's
Wait,
Quest
which
a while
one
back.
was
too.
it?
I
then?
did.
I'm not thinking of Felix
yeah.
the Cat. I'm trying to think of which game. There was a game we kept giving to you for a while, and you didn't
It's
actually.
like
know.
Mega Man Battle Network you give to me just because Mega Man.
Well,
Oh yeah, that's true.
There
We
you go.
also
you're making me sound like a racist the way you put it like that. All right, fine.
Well, we can make him do the Mega Man network transition.
Yeah, we'll give you that one.
Transmission we've got later. You'll get some more Mega Man. Don't worry.
Speaking of a
All right.
transition,
So this is Fester's Quest for the NES. This is Zaki the hybrid. Zaki has been doing runs of Fester's Quest lately, and they seem to get better and better. But now he's moved over to the 80% glitchless category. This is 2829 is the time, and he says in the comments, he explains, unlike the 80%, this run doesn't use the key glitch to instant kill bosses, so resource management is very important to ensure having enough items on hand for the boss fights. This was a mostly awful run. I was slow on my menus and even had to exit a building and start over went the wrong way, but at least it's a start, and the boss fights, let's see, aside from the menu blip, went exactly as I'd planned. Definitely very improvable, and looking forward to continuing to get the time down. So basically what happens in these bosses in any percent are normally skippable because this boss room is sort of overlaid on top of another room that has a trigger where you can talk to Thing. So basically if you walk to a certain place and then you give an item to Thing into the key, or you talk to Thing and you give the key, and it pulls you out of the boss fight, and there's the boss fight completed. So that's how you're able to skip all these bosses and you don't have to fight any of them in the 8% run. But these are really pretty grueling boss fights, and they're long, and it's just a lot of mashing and a lot of technique, and it's just a lot of work. So generally, any percent is a much more forgiving run to do. So that's why you really got to hand it to Zaki for taking this on.
I'm starting to doubt I've ever watched a highlight of this game because this looks nothing like I remember it looking. Probably because he's fighting bosses.
This is just boss fights. Yeah, this is all boss fights in this highlight reel, and there's normally 0 boss fights.
Right, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's why it opened up Festus Quest, and I was like, oh shit, I've loaded the wrong video. And I will look through the list for another one called Festus Quest, and there's nothing there.
yeah.
Oh, thank God for descriptions. Oh, dude, this celebration. Dude, that's the best version of the Sat song I've ever heard.
The arms and hands disappear completely and then reappear.
They've got to.
Everyone's in perfect unison.
Yeah. Alright. So good job, Zaki. Now, we have a hell of a quote here, which is why I'm going to give it to Crack Attack. I wanted to read this because this game, for you wondering in chat, yes, this is that game you're thinking of.
This is an awesome game.
This is
yeah.
This is the game everyone forgets exists, and they have that vague memory one day where they're like, was there a game where you had to blocks were trying to crush you and you had to destroy them all? Was that a thing on PS1? And that's this game.
Looks like Clax.
It's amazing. Anyway, Crack Attack. You've got a mission in front of you here to read all this in time, so let's.
So you want me to read all this right here?
Well, it's up to you. But yes.
Just go until we get to the end of the video, and then we'll make you stop.
All right.
Okay, so we got a run by Kano Pocket doing Intelligent Cube. Intelligent Cube is a game of IQ tectonics that evaluates your intelligence using block puzzles in a series of 9 incrementally difficult stages. There are 3 types of blocks: the normal cube, the advantage cube, and the forbidden cube. The goal is to capture all the normal and advantage cubes before they roll off the stage, while not capturing the forbidden cubes. The advantage of the advantage cube, the advantage of the advantage cube is that it gives you a second tile marker on the square that gives an advantage cube is captured on that square to capture all cubes in the square around it. Who wrote this? In a speed run, this game becomes more complex. At the beginning of the game, you tend to stack cubes to avoid getting perfects, while at later points such as stage 7 and 8, making a single mistake can be fatal. By overflowing the damage meter or by capturing forbidden cube, you are able to destroy a row from the end of the runway. This is advantageous because at the end of the stage, it counts how many rows are remaining. It adds that to your score. I'm still trying to develop my understanding of how to balance optimally solving puzzles with the stacking portions of waves to get through as quickly as possible. What makes it more difficult is that approximately 3,400 block patterns, which forces you to be adaptive. The solutions which can be found here if you're interested, and there's a link there.
Yeah.
The other thing is that makes the speedrun difficult is that the game is intended to be played on difficulty 0, but you can turn it up on difficulty 4 to make blocks roll faster. Also, by playing on difficulty 4, the ending cutscene plays, which doesn't play if you're on difficulty 0. The story to this game is explained in the final cutscene. I highly recommend checking it out.
Whoa.
Wow, holy smokes. I did not realize there was actually an ending to this game.
Wow.
This is this is
Such I get for sticking along.
good job. You did a really I would have just paste finned it, honestly. In fact, this was a test of
You
your pace
told him to
finding
read.
equivalent. No.
Hey, if
He
it's
did
there,
it.
I'm gonna read it.
I can't complain, man. He
did
did
it.
a grand
Gotta
job.
read it.
Like, what am I gonna say? But yeah, it's a really great game. You guys probably know it. You probably played it on your demo discs of PS1s because you all had a demo disc on a PS1, right?
Yeah, this was on like in-store
course.
kiosks. I think this was like a launch title or really close
Yeah,
to
it was definitely at least close to it if it wasn't a launch title. But yeah, really great. I remember playing it for hours on my demo disc and with a friend where we were trying to figure out what the hell it was. We thought it was a tech demo at first. And by at first, I mean for about 3 weeks. But hey,
I think it's also a pretty rare game. It's hard to find
quite
this game.
rare, and that's why when someone just left theirs lying around at AGDQ, I was like, I could take this.
Yeah. Oh, that
This
is
could be
rare.
mine.
It's actually got cheaper over the past few years, but it's still really rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a really good game.
It's really cool. It's really, really cool. But let me take a sip of water and then tell you about Left 4 Dead.
boy.
That's it. It's there.
Buckle up, here it comes.
It says Left 4 Dead. It says Crash Course. It says 5:49 in game time, and it says who the runners are. That's information I can confirm is all accurate. That is true. It's about 32 seconds faster in game time than our old time, which, wait, 32, wait, 20, yeah, 32 seconds. And that doesn't mean anything except for the old run was much worse than we thought it was. So, there you go. It really was. We looked at the time and we timed it, and we weren't like, whoa, this run was good. We were like, man, that old run sucked. So,
You're
there you
still
go.
gonna improve this one then?
Yes, hopefully.
Ah.
We reckon at least 5 seconds can come off of it. That's a nice, generous estimate. The problem is this game's random.
Yep.
Well, it's you got to deal with the randomness. Let's put it that way. And we had a really, really fast tank spawn and wave spawn at the finale, which is basically the worst piece of luck we could have asked for, because then it's going to take forever to get it again. But alack and alas, we shall persevere. But yeah, do co-op speedruns with your friends. They're really fun. That's
Agreed.
that. There you go. This is also, as I pointed out, I think, what did I say? My first submission to this show in 26 months. So it's
Yeah.
been 26 months since I've submitted a time to my own show.
Came out of retirement just
Yeah.
for us.
Just for this. So there you go. I'm proud of myself. Right. Next up. I do have a highlight for this. Oh, fantabulous. Feezy, this is yours
Yep.
for a better
Oh yeah,
reason than
this
that.
one I can read.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Legacy of the Wizard for the NES. This is any percent, of course. It's all anybody runs. 23:44 is the time by Dragon Dark. So let me see. I will read his comment first and then explain a little bit about what the situation is with Legacy of the Wizard lately. He says, first completed the run using. This is his first completed run using the new route. Still plenty of time to be saved, and we'll be looking into manipulating even more scrolls as we go. Shoutouts to the Japanese runner that I still don't know the name for coming up with this route. Passkey for looking into how the drop system works, and Fiesel for the competition and helping with the routing. So yeah, Legacy Wizard is a game that both Dragon Dark and I have worked on in the past. I think this was like maybe the second run that I did for SDA was obsoleting Dragon Dark's old SDA run years and years ago. We raced it at SGDQ one time. Nothing happened for a while, but basically a Japanese runner, we found a Japanese run on the Japanese version of the game, which is basically identical except for the title screen, that is using scroll manipulation. It manipulates just a ton more scrolls than we were ever able to do. And it was discovered that what this guy had done was you go to the password input screen and then immediately cancel out of the password input screen. And every time you do that, it resets the game's RNG state. So we had known for a while that, you know, towards the beginning of the run, as long as you played really consistently, you would get kind of consistent drops. But we didn't know that you could reset the RNG every single time you go back to the house. So now a lot of the speed scroll luck kind of came out of it, and the run turned into trying to play really, really consistently to get, at the beginning of each section, to get exactly the same drops.
Just to interrupt you, Fiesel, we just got a new follower. Sure. Thanks, 8 the Princess. Thanks for following us.
Oh, nice. Cool. We're stealing followers from Dragon Dark. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember this game being very fast.
No.
Right. So you're going with scroll speed 4. Normally you can only get scroll speed 3, but once you get the spicy taquitos, as we call them, it bumps it up to scroll speed 4. Yeah. So you're basically going super fast through almost the whole run, and as time goes on, I think we'll be able to start manipulating even more scrolls and just be able to keep scroll speed through the entire thing. Because it's like the scroll speed stack, but every time you get a new one, it doesn't go above the limit of 4 or 3 or 4, depending on which was the last one you get. But every time you get a new one, it refreshes the timer. So you just want to periodically keep giving yourself scroll ups and can keep it through the whole game like the task does. And I feel like the game will eventually go that direction. But anyway, Dragon Dark managed to beat the second Japanese runner that we found, who's had an even better time than the last one. He beat that by like 40 seconds or so, something like that.
Wow.
So pretty big improvement. Yeah. And a lot of that was just that we're using a better route than the other guy used. This guy actually did use the pause jump trick, unlike the first Japanese run we saw that manipulated speed scrolls throughout, which you didn't. So this was actually a somewhat more modern route, but still it had some things in it that were unnecessary that we were able to cut out of it. So yeah, look for more of this, like the Wizard hype speed game.
Is this? I think this might be the opposite of what you normally run. Like, the average move speed in this game is significantly higher than anything else you play, Fiesel.
Sure, but it's really hard to control at that speed, so maybe that's, you know, the
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just, when I watched you play this once, I was like, he must be fast-forwarding through an old video to find a timestamp.
Yeah.
Alright, we have 2 Luna games in celebration of the let's go out on a thing and say the full moon tonight. I can't see it, but maybe it's there.
There must be a full moon somewhere in there.
Yeah, surely somewhere in the world. Is that how the moon works? Does the moon work like that?
Yeah, of course it does. Move on.
Okay. We have 2 Luna runs, Luna 2 Eternal Blue Complete and Luna Silver Star Story Complete. Both PS1 games, both these runs by High Spirits. Blue Complete is in 7:13:12, who says, and High Spirits says that's 7 hours, 13 minutes 12 seconds. He says, one hell of a week for me. This was a classic casual D-Rust world record after not touching the game for almost 2 months. Only death came on last floor of dungeon, which was kind of disappointing. That's pretty impressive to go 7 hours-ish without dying. That's pretty good. Sub 705 is my ultimate goal, and I don't think I can push it any further than that. And then for Silver Star Story Complete, which I guess, you know, I'm not sure where the title ends and the category begins or what there, but it says any percent, and it says after a couple months of slow progress, I finally got a 1 death run with, another 1 death run with perfect end game luck. Bosses are a major concern in this game, but only one gave me any trouble. Still believe close to 7 hours is possible someday, but the boss RNG is a mess. You did 2 of those in 1 week. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, High Spirits was also the one that did the Dragon Warrior 7, so that's
Oh,
like a total
really?
of 30 hours.
Oh my
speedrun.
Jesus.
30 hours.
Oh, wow.
30 hours of world record.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that would be a record for the most number of hours of submitted speedruns to TSSB.
That's over a day
episode,
of
by
content.
far.
That's
over a day.
That's 12
Wow.
weeks-ish. That's 10 weeks of TSSB done in a week.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, I caught some of his streams. These are pretty interesting to watch. They're interesting RPGs. They're also really good. They were originally Sega CD games. I think it was Lunar Silver Star and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue on Sega CD, but I don't think they were released outside of Japan. But yeah, these are our first English translations of them. They're really good. I think they're Game Arts, developed by Game Arts. Same guys do Grandia. Really interesting battle systems. They're very, very good. Very good music. Very good, like 2D visuals in the games. High Spirits puts on a pretty solid stream. It was fun watching some of it. The boss watching the boss fights in this game it's really interesting. A lot of strategy. Good stuff.
Hey, speaking of Duckfist, speaking about records, we threatened you with this
yeah,
earlier.
we've got a Mega
and we're
Man
going to pull
game.
through on it. So.
Well,
Absolutely.
I am a reputable Mega Man 10 speedrunner.
Yep.
So
And T is the same letter that 10 begins with. So.
There you
Network
go.
transmission with a
Certainly
T.
is.
You
He's
could think of it.
transmitted Mega Man over the network
You could think about it, Mega Man Network 10 transmission.
yeah,
You know.
well, you had to go on the PlayStation Network to download Mega Man 10.
Dude,
Yeah.
powerful. We got the connection right there. This is a sign you're meant to do this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something for GCN PAL version, but I can't. So
We'll think of something.
that's just extra information. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Mega Man Network transmission on the GameCube, Nintendo PAL version, any percent in 1 hour and 3 seconds by Jang Bang. Jang Bang says new world record. Got pretty good luck all around, especially going into Guts Man stage, Gravity Man stage, Star Man stage, and the Undernet. Should have had sub 1 hour. Fortunately, I messed up on the Gauntlet fight and lost a bunch of time. Hopefully, I can get a sub 1 hour soon. So
Pretty close, 3 seconds away. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to figure it'll happen pretty soon if he keeps at it.
Yeah, that means you pretty much have to keep going.
Yeah.
Depends on the run, but usually that's how people take it. But I have played this a little bit. This is a pretty cool. It's like a mix of the Battle Network games and 2D platforming Mega Man. It's like kind of an interesting mix.
Yeah, this is a really cool game.
Yeah,
And only one of its kind, really. And it also actually came out on console, not on handheld. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're mostly seeing boss fights here, but there are actual platforming levels that are reminiscent of Mega Man games that folks are familiar with. If you haven't played this, it's got a variety to it. Not just one big boss rush. Pretty cool looking game, though.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a neat game. I played it like when it came out for a bit. I rented it a few times. It was neat.
Alright. Cool. Next up, Muppet Race Mania.
Oh god, Flicky, where's W Split?
Where's the music? Oh my god, what happened? It's P. Why did I type P anyway? I need to type P for some reason.
W Split's not even on the
Wait, it's not even on there?
stream.
Well, there it is again. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But the point is,
This is gonna be the fastest episode ever.
because of all the pausing, all the splicing.
Yep.
Yeah. But this is Muppet Race Mania, any percent all Muppets, 2933 by Peter Afro. So it's a bad mountain spawn RNG killed the sub 29. We had this on the show ages ago, right? And it had that
Yeah.
amazing music.
We've had a couple. This has got the great music to it,
Yeah,
right,
this is-
right,
yeah.
right.
It's got the great music. Yeah. Alright, sorry, I'm losing control. I want to get back on track. I already got screwed up by the fact that our records doc doesn't match our videos names. So I'm trying to look for Link's Awakening and it's not there yet, so, you know. Right, let's change the page. And let's...
Is it The Legend of Zelda? Legend of Zelda?
No,
Or just Zelda?
because I got Link's Awakening. Oh my god, it's too much, Duckfist. It's just too much.
Sorry, man.
Let's
I
just
feel for you.
stop playing any of these Zelda games. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's go with something that has a logical naming system, unlike New Super Marissa Land, which already screwed me up once. So let's try and get that going, and I have. There you go, fantabulous. Now this is New Super Marissa Land, All Mushrooms 3553 by Raindrop Dry, which you should have seen at AGDQ. If not, go watch it. I'm sure it should be up by now, or soonish. But
Yep,
Mr. Dry says, some slops here and there, but this run is very consistent and has no big time loss due to mistakes. There are some strats that can be improved here and there, however I will take a break from this category for now and aim for a better any percent time. I would like to dedicate this space and also give a proper shout out to everyone I met at AGDQ. You guys are awesome and I made it a very special week for me. That concludes me. I'm going to take credit for that one. I spoke to him a bunch when I got there, and I enjoyed it because everyone was talking about the Japanese guys, and I went to talk to Raindrop Dry instead and said that I was happy Brazil was there. And then I proceeded to sort of do that thing that you do at events where you kind of forget exactly if that person you see later on is that person you've spoken to already, and you don't want to go say hello to them just in case it's not them and you have met them and then you forget who it is. But there was about 2 days where I was too worried to go talk to him again in case it wasn't actually him. But it was. But,
I have that problem with you once in a while.
Yeah?
Is that Flicky?
Is that him? Oh yeah, there's a loud English guy who won't shut up.
Oh yeah,
that's him.
Well, it's too late now. I better not risk it. I've committed this far.
There you go. It's a cool game. It was at AGDQ, and it was really cool that it got in as well. But congratulations,
Raindrop Guy's a cool guy, by the way.
He's really cool.
Yeah.
Good make man.
Yeah, I asked him about why there aren't loads of Master System runners from Brazil, and his answer was that he doesn't know. So
That's a legit answer.
it's a really legit answer because they love the Master System over there. So who knows? Who knows? All right. I'm gonna hand this one to Rich because I haven't heard his voice in a bit.
I miss his voice too.
I actually played this game a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
That's the
Fantastic.
other reason why we're getting it.
That's better because I kept wanting to call
be.
it Oinken, and I was expecting it to be about pigs, but it's not.
We have Oniken for the PC 100% by Fawn, done in 2504. And his comment is, took a long break from this game and decided to take the world record of this category, cutting the previous record by about 5 minutes. 100% of this game is collecting all power-up, extra lives, and finishing mission 7 with all hostages as well.
See,
Did
that
you like it?
really
Did you
didn't
enjoy playing
help when I thought it was about pigs. But this.
Yeah, this was a really good game. Like I found it by a fluke. I did a Google search on like images for Power Blade. Like I wanted like some cool fan art or something, and I got a picture of this game. I was like, oh, whoa, what is this? And it's like a mixture of like it looks like kind of a little like Power Blade and Ninja Gaiden, so it's fitting for this episode as well.
All right.
Cool.
We have.
It's a really solid platformer.
Yeah. Did you like it too, Douglas?
All right.
I think it
Trying to
recently
remember that.
came out on Steam like a couple of months ago. That's with how it kind of got back into the spotlight. But I think it was originally released like 2 or 3 years ago. I first played it. I think it was on Desura. It's like that indie game distribution service. It's like similar to Steam. I just remember like immediately discovering like a really, really easy way to do like sword canceling. I was like, okay, this is a ninja game. There's got to be some kind of sword canceling, and there is. All you do is you tap down once, and it cancels the cooldown. It's easier than any other Ninja Gaiden game to sword cancel. You just mash down B.
I know what
with either hand,
you're
works.
thinking, Dougfist, and yes, that is the same as bark cancelling in Beethoven 2. That's crazy.
Bark canceling?
In Beethoven 2nd, yeah, it's the same technique. I know that's what you were thinking, Dougfist, and yeah, you're right.
It was.
Yeah.
Actually, what I was thinking was a good idea for the next relay.
Oniken, oh yeah.
Beethoven.
All right.
Keep that open.
Okay, now here's a really good link. Okay, Cubert 3, Ninja Gaiden 3, Crack Attack. Have a crack at this one. This isn't
Alright, well,
significantly
here we go.
not as long.
Yeah, it's about not even half there. Okay, so this is Cupid 3 by Josh Bruto, who says this is expert mode, not to be confused with the normal game. It can be played after the normal game is beaten. Expert mode is 20 screens.
I chuckled when I
All with
realized.
the complex paint pattern 1 2 3 1 2 3, and there are no checkpoints if you game over. These 20 screens are all or nothing. This run took many attempts just to beat this mode on stream after getting so many close many times. The any percent world record also got shortened by an hour. However, this is a brand new world record, so I want to submit this one.
Yeah, this is confusing. We talked about how impressive it is that people around Cuba, Yogi the Monk runs it, and I was watching this video and I was thinking, what the fuck is this? How do I do any of this? But yeah.
Right, even with a nice regular pyramid layout, it's a really challenging game, and it's got just the same difficult mechanics, plus it's these bizarrely shaped maps. I mean, I'm sure whatever patterns you come up with, for whatever algorithms you come up with for fixing the colors, must get completely screwed up when they get applied to just weird shapes like this thing.
Yeah, just look at how he has to solve them. It's just...
Yes.
If it's anything like the first game, it's probably a really hard game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would bet.
I would agree. And then on top of that, I was looking through the thing, and when I was making the video, I did like, okay, what's the category called? And I said expert, and I was like,
yeah, expert.
nice.
Expert, the wordplay.
Yeah.
The only there's only one difficulty, expert. There you go.
Amazing.
All right, PJ,
Oh,
this
man.
is in SNES
Yes.
game, so.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So this is Radical Rex for the Super Nintendo. Any percent in 2351 by our good friend OmniGamer, of course. This game came from the Bad Game Exchange, so I take partial responsibility for him going through hell to play this. So, he says, finally finished with Rex. The overall time is fine, but I missed Pterodactyl Quick Kill and had max cycles on Hellhive. This is made up for and then some by almost perfect luck on both Sethron fights, so it still does quite a bit better than what I'd expect as an average across all the fights. I could probably knock the game down another 10 to 15 seconds, but the game isn't worth it. Agreed.
Was this like a
If I
Rex
cartoon?
really
looks like
crazy.
Scrappy Doo.
What's
Gonna say
that?
Rex looks like Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah,
Scrappy,
yeah,
yeah.
That might explain why I'm wondering if this is a cartoon. Was this a children's cartoon in America? Or
No, I think they just made this character up for the sake of the video game.
Oh, he
And of course
skateboards
the
though. I can
obligatory
totally
skateboarding.
I like that jump animation.
yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, the
another
jump
part of
animation.
it. He skateboards, so I thought like, well, he's gotta be like, look at him. He looks straight out of an American cartoon. Because you guys had that show.
Master Higgins.
Was it literally called Dinosaurs, where it had
He
people
looks
dressed
like
as
he's from
dinosaurs?
Right.
Flintstones or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a
he does.
Flintstones character. Maybe.
What was that show? There was a show called Dinosaurs, right? Where it was just like
Right,
bunch of-
dinosaurs.
He looked like the baby dinosaur.
Oh, we
from
don't talk
that.
about that one.
Oh, you don't? Okay, sorry. So it's
No,
like
yeah, we
Harry
don't
and the
talk about dinosaurs.
Hendersons, which is that American show where they had the Bigfoot. You guys
And
have
Denver the dinosaur.
Denver the dinosaur.
Yeah, he skateboarded.
I think every dinosaur
That
skateboarded.
Lots of
not
dinosaurs
come
that
from,
skateboard. Come on.
Since the 80s, every dinosaur has skateboarded. Alright, speaking of, oh geez, I thought that said dinosaurs and I was about to freak out, but it's not.
Nope. Oh, it would have been a perfect segue.
It
No,
would
that's
have been.
fine. I'll take it's
Go
another
for it.
Zaki run.
Yeah,
so
go
I'll take
for
it.
it. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Robo Demons for the NES. 9 minutes 20 seconds by the Zaki the Hybrid.
Terrible music, by the way.
says, oh really?
Yeah, I have to
Wow.
listen to
Oh,
it
that's
again.
right. This okay. I remember this
oh
clip from last
god,
time.
yeah.
Right. The what are we looking at?
Yeah.
He says, this run did not go nearly as planned and had an unintentional death. Somehow, despite those things, I improved my previous time by 26 seconds. I feel like sub 9 is definitely possible, so I'm going to keep at it until I achieve that. And I firmly believe that he will, because
Yeah.
that's what always happens when Zaki plays his
So what's particularly
inscrutable games.
particularly interesting about this game with the music is every so often the music just resets when you go into another room. And I found when he went into a new room and I cut the video to be in a different part of the game, it looked like the perfect splice. So I realized that this may look like a massive skip that he jumped from 3 minutes into the run to the last boss, but it's actually just my elite, incredible video editing skills. And I'm going to play that
Alright.
death scream for you guys one more time because I really like it.
This game was fucking weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, I wanted to see what that text said as well, because I didn't get to read it when I was trying to make the highlight video. But it's, and thus the demon probably Cole, was destroyed
Cole?
and his condemned souls were freed from hell. I thought it might be Klill, like Klill,
Is that bad or good? I can't tell. Did you win the game or did you game over?
I think he won. I'm not sure, but...
If he's freed from hell, then I think that's a good thing. I don't know.
Wait, no, isn't that a
But they're
bad thing?
condemned souls. Maybe
Oh,
they're
wait,
supposed
he's a
to be
demon,
there.
though.
Yeah, aren't they in hell for a reason? Like, that would... I couldn't tell, and when I was
Is it
making the
sad?
What happens when
highlight
your
video...
protagonist is a demon?
I thought the video bugged out and there was artifacting everywhere, but that's just the stage design, and... yeah. I just... there were so many
No cooking
questions
cartridge, that's
and
what it
so
looks like.
few answers. Let's just put it that way. Alright, Duckfist, this one is actually more for you than the last Mega Man game we had.
Oh, this is actually Mega Man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
It's a Mega Man.
Rockman No Constancy. Oh yeah, it's a ROM hack. So there we go. Good game. On of course NES or Famicom. 80% hard mode. Very distinguished here. Hard mode by Male Ariel in 45 minutes and 30 seconds. Male Ariel says, very happy to present a no-death run of this category. Over 2 minutes were saved. This is technically the world record, but I'm the only one running this category. Kappa. Shoutouts to Uranimaker because he made me discover the normal mode of this game in SDQ 2013. You're awesome. QZWX, who is my inspiration for doing hard mode. I miss your videos, bro. Elonija, whose awesome normal run helped me with strats in hand. Duckfist for indirectly giving me motivation to make my run better. Thank you. Sure. I don't know what I did.
Indirectly.
Probably sarcastic comments like this. So I'll keep doing what I'm doing then.
Well, you just accidentally helped
Flip.
another 10 runners, dude.
Yep.
I did. Whoa. Okay. All these people joining speedrunning and crush times and submitting runs. Very nice. He's also thanking Slurpee Ninja for all the cheering and praising he gave me throughout the past few months. You're the best. You're the best. What to improve? I can't beat Heatman using the method in Rockman 2, but using it will most definitely save almost a minute in the run. More practice to kill Clashman a little bit faster might be able to reduce by 1/3 of the time to kill him. Sub 45 is possible for me. A better player can definitely get sub 44 just because I can't pull off quick kill. Thanks for watching and reading. Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about the hard mode of this, but the main thing I know is that there's like no invulnerability frames when you take damage, so it's really easy to get like trapped and just destroyed real fast by enemies, unlike being able to like damage boost and have invulnerability in normal mode. But this is one of the best like ROM hacks ever made, in my opinion. Rockman No Constancy is very, very good. It's a hack of Rockman 2, and it's done very well. Good music selection, good graphics, good level design, cool weapons. It's a little harder than Rockman 2, but it's not like Kaizo or anything. It's pretty reasonable. It's a very high quality hack.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's one of the accepted
Cool,
ones. The accepted 3 is it hacks that people really like.
What's the other one?
As Minus Infinity is one of them, and isn't there one more?
Oh, Minus Infinity.
I believe. Anyway,
and what else?
I thought that was a third.
I would say Mario Adventure is a big, well accepted
Oh.
hack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no, this is a good one. If you guys like Mega Man, check it out and go check out Male Ariel's stream. This is very cool.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Cool. Next up we have Saints Row. This is Gat Out of Hell, which is the DLC for Saints Row 4. And we made the highlight video. Enjoy it. We're not sure what we're looking at, but it's there. It's a 54-54 by Redemption 99. It gets a nice repetitive time there. It's not symmetrical, but whatever that is. This is
I
my
believe it's
best.
both a palindrome and a prime number.
Oh, fantastic! Palindromic prime, brilliant. This is
Palindromic prime.
This is my best run so far. Only a couple mistakes, lost a few seconds there. Always looking for more runners for this game and someone to help us get 50 minutes somehow. And that's the first one I haven't stopped in time. Dagnam it. Oh well. Congratulations, Redemption 99. Yeah. I think. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm good. I'm good.
Everything's fine.
Okay, we've also then got Skylanders Trap Team. This is PS3 PAL, any percent in 250.36 by Bangera. This is the game where you have the figurines that you put on the box, and it takes the figurines into the game. So it's like the RL DLC game. But Bang says this was the first full run after about 2 months of rooting and glitching. A double jump and a teleport glitch cut out large sections of each level. I think 230 is possible. This was just the first run, so it's not perfect. But this is interesting to watch, especially interesting to sit in his chat and see like kids accidentally come across his stream because he's playing Skylanders Trap Team, which you know, if you haven't been paying attention, is one of the biggest games for kids at the moment. So he gets a lot of people come in and complain that he's glitching, more so than you would ever imagine. If you thought, you know, sort of the Kotaku people saying glitches aren't legit are bad, try telling, you know, a 12-year-old girl that glitching should be okay when you're breaking her game. So,
does he have an 18-year-old plus confirmation?
I
on
think
his
he
stream?
does. I believe he might have a mature thing, but when does a kid ever listen
Does
to
he swear
that?
a lot? I'd like.
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen him catch himself swearing, which is something I've never seen him ever do otherwise. I think he's yeah, alright. So good job, Angera. And then we have Sonic Rush Adventure. I do not know what this is, but is it a car game? Who knows? It's a DS any percent 116.16. Do you know it?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
No.
This is the second of many runs I'll do for this game. This game has no community or prior runs, but I like the game and I went and did rooting for any percent. I did some research and rooted out the game for a week to be speedrun safe, but has room to be perfected and taken down even further. This game has resources that require you to replay levels and a few big skips, but no major sequence breaks. 100% rooting will not be done by me. Has a lot to do it, like 100 missions, 14 emeralds? There are only 7, right? Oh, I don't know. And it might stretch into a 4-hour range. Gotta go slow. I don't know what this Sonic is, but I think you've got that last bit wrong. Don't know.
Gotta go slow.
Gotta go slow.
I think Sonic Rush is a racing game too. So
I thought it was Sonic Rush was like why? I must think that for a reason. But he said replaying levels, and has skips.
Is it like Sonic Adventure except a racing game? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me just load up the video.
Don't load it up. Don't cheat. This
Okay,
isn't
this
fair.
is
You gotta
Serious.
continue
Actually
speculating
researching this.
incorrectly here.
We've
I want
got-
to say it's a racing game where you're running on foot and not actually in
Ooh,
cars.
it might be the
maybe.
one where you run on
Yeah.
foot.
Well,
But it says adventure, so as soon as I think of adventure
Uh.
racing game, I think of like a Diddy Kong racing where you have like a world map. Ooh, I think
Ooh,
I
maybe.
think we've just invented the game.
Oh, we
so
just
watching this, I
called it.
still don't understand
Oh.
what genre it is.
Well, it's good because
Oh man.
I kind of don't want to know because I
It's definitely
enjoy the
fine
fact
now.
that there's always a Sonic game out there I've never heard of.
Yeah.
There's always one
It's
more
true.
Sonic game that I think, man, I had no idea that existed. The biggest one for me recently was Sonic and the Black Knight, which I completely missed. There was a Sonic game where he had a sword and he was those like knights and stuff. Like I had no idea. That was a
You mean
real
Sonic?
revelation.
Sonic's Home Run
Sonic's
Derby.
been everywhere.
Sonic, we'll get to that later. Sonic has done it all. And it's when they're not like if it's a Mario is missing, I'm like, oh, that explains it. That's a weird game. But when it's like a big release, it's pretty crazy. All right, Star Tropics, aka the
Yes.
best game question. We played video game drinking games at AGDQ, and Bangera used Star Tropics as an answer to maybe 6 different questions. So it's very powerful in that regard. Name a game that begins with the same letter that it ends with. Bang, Star Tropics. NES game, Star Tropics. It just went on and on. It was powerful. Fiesel, you were there. I don't need to
Right.
tell you.
So-
All right.
So
Go.
Star Tropics
Yeah.
was like a wild card answer for all the drinking game questions.
No, he
So-
just it should be now, but somehow it just answered every question that was asked.
Sounds
Right.
like
What was
he's
your most
better
embarrassing
than
experience?
Yeah.
Star Tropics.
Star Tropics. All right.
Who would you like to be stranded on a desert island with? Star
Star
Tropics.
Tropics. All right. One of you read this. Let's play this video.
All right.
Okay.
Fiesel said he wanted to read this so he could
Oh,
go.
okay. That's all right. Sure. And the answer is Star Tropics. Oh, it's 10509 by Zodastone. This is for any percent. He says, this shaved 12 seconds off my previous record, and so my current goal of getting sub 105 is starting to look pretty achievable. The late game is notoriously RNG heavy, but luck was on my side for once. This was the first time in a run that I decided to skip the life-restoring pill in 7-2. Nearly killed me.
See,
man,
you love this game, don't you, PJ? Because you mentioned it in
do.
your interview.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I
talking
did
to
PJ.
Peasel?
I did say
Peasel.
Okay.
I got the name right. PJ said in his interview that he loved this game. When asked in his interview, are there any streams you'd like to promote? This is PJ, long-time host of Sunday Sequence Break. He said, "Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of good
any
streams
that regularly don't get many viewers."
I don't know. How about this Star Tropic streams?" And then they talked about Star Tropics, and I sat there and I was like, PJ.
He said with low viewer counts. We don't qualify for that.
Oh, I just enjoyed that
That's
was
true.
the response. And not as much as I enjoyed that he said PJ to Cesare, because I could
Yep.
just imagine you telling him it's Cesare at some point. Just like someone
No,
asked
he
me.
said that they couldn't figure out how to pronounce my name, and they had to do
Oh.
the introduction thing, and the reason that he didn't post it for a few days is because they couldn't figure out how it was pronounced.
Nice. It reminds me of a friend of mine said that, hey, why don't you go visit your friend in Norway? And I was like, who's my friend in Norway? And they said, yeah, he was at AGDQ, your friend in Norway. And that's when I realized that Adam had told this person that he lived in Norway, and they had been like, oh, okay, cool.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
It sounds, yeah, that's how I knew who it was, because it was definitely Adam.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, sorry, congratulations, Oda Stone. Tad distracted, my bad. Alright, this one,
Yep.
I don't know what to do, so I'm going to sit
don't know
here
what to do.
quietly and while someone does it for me.
Okay, I can read this row of text here. Sure. So, Super Mario Forever for the NES, I believe this is a ROM hack, and it's meant to be difficult or to be making no sense. This is any percent run in 3 minutes 35 seconds by Blubbler, who says this is the ROM hack from the famous Super Mario Bros. Frustration video. The hack's real name is actually Super Mario Forever. I don't think it's a very well-made hack, but I wanted to get a deathless run of it. The pipe at the end of 1-2 is weird. It seems to be completely random. It takes you to a flagpole or a bonus room. Sadly, it was the bonus room in this run, which cost me a lot of time, but I'm content with it either way.
I just
see. So,
For
looked
being a
at
famous
that.
video, I've never heard of it before.
I have seen that one. I've seen
Oh,
that
you guys
one.
need to see the video of the guy that does the frustration.
Yeah, this is a famous video.
I've seen it.
You're
It's like
breaking my
the...
balls, Mario.
Yeah.
Pretty stupid, though.
Yeah, it's dumb. But I looked at this and I was like, who gets casual wall jumps that I'm not? Oh, it's Blubbler. Okay, alright.
but
Yeah.
it must be something about that moving platform thing, though, that he makes it look like it's so easy.
Yeah, the
Maybe it's
physics
not
are
super
a little
easy.
wonky.
Huh.
There's also like a whole bunch of hidden blocks that he dodged. When you play the game normally, you know, there's Kaizo blocks
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Yeah.
you just didn't see them because you didn't turn them, or else you die.
In this game, they're just there to troll you.
I think they're
So
there
it
for
is
that
like
reason in
NES Kaizo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
pretty
might.
much.
I don't know if it's before Kaizo, but it's certainly very old. Like I remember seeing
Yeah.
this video like maybe 7 years ago. Jeez,
Yeah, I
it's been
saw it a
long time.
long time ago. So, yeah. Well, there you go. Congratulations, Blubbler. Well done. Super Metroid. I've not heard of this one.
I think that's a ROM hack.
I think it's a ROM hack of Mario? Or is it a ROM hack of
I've heard of
Asteroids?
Metroid 3.
Metroid 3.
Metroid 3, that's true.
Yeah. Hey, let's give this to
Uh.
PJ. I mean, you like games.
I do like games,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Zost. You know, new any percent time, 43:31. He says 42 would be hard, but it's definitely possible. Yeah, I was watching him do attempts earlier, and of course none of the attempts I watched were anything at all. And then I leave, and like 40 minutes later, he's fighting Mother Brain. He's like 12 seconds ahead or something.
Nice.
And yeah, so we got a 43:34, which was a really sick run from what I've heard. And then, I don't know, I guess he got this run like yesterday or something.
I think it was today, actually.
Zeus is too good, man.
Damn.
Yeah, like he's been
Celebration.
PBing like crazy on this after he picked up the new 80%. So if anybody doesn't know, this is like uses the new route that Behemoth developed, veteran Super Metroid speedrunner, where past several years people have been speedrunning the game in the boss order, Kraid, Fantoon, Dragon, Ridley. Now it goes in almost reverse order. You start with Fantoon, and then you go down to Ridley, and then you go to Kraid, and then you go to Dragon. I think that's the order.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's much more luck dependent. It's much more dependent on drops. Like drops, getting drops after Ridley is extremely important. Having power bombs here at Ridley like he has, so he can X Factor him, is really important. The Ridley fight is really hard because you don't have plasma beam, so it takes much longer to defeat both Ridley and like Mother Brain 1. You have to do the blue suit Shine Spark X Factor stuff against Dragon, and yeah, it's crazy hard. It's really hard to finish runs here. There's also the corner wall jump to cross that grapple beam room on the way to Wreck Ship. There's a lot of really tricky techniques, and it's very dependent. But it's cool that Zeus and Cop Power have been working on this.
I've been watching them. I was watching them do well, they were both streaming at the same time, going for runs, and that was really cool. When Zeus finished a run and didn't quite make it, he'd just go watch Cop Power instead, and then they'd just trade back and forth. So you could just keep watching people going for runs all night. It was pretty great.
It's got to be frustrating to play.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's got to be frustrating to play, but man, I love watching the new route. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks kind of like low percent with some of the health values you have there.
Yeah. It looks more like their other wackier categories. It's just now really fast.
Yeah. Zeus also had one of my favorite post-run celebrations ever. When he got to 43-34, he played like this 10-minute long Washington Post march.
Yeah, like
With,
the
like,
dun, 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 dun. Is that the one? Something like that.
I forget. It was like one of the super recognizable patriotic traditional U.S. marches, and like all these USA gifs that were playing.
So those are the things. Those are what your alarm clocks play up every morning, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All
And
your
we
doorbells.
wake up and we salute the American flag.
Yeah, I
and,
got it.
You know. Yep.
Yeah. We don't have flags in Europe. They're too racist. We can't have any of that pride in our countries.
No.
It's been outlawed. So yeah. All right. Speaking of
taking away all your flags, you just have LED displays,
Yeah.
of your country's
we
logo.
just have vague drawings of flags, vague memories of what flags are. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of vague memories of what things used to be, this is a very good segue if you do not know what this game looks like, but you don't actually get to see it in the highlight video. Just take my word for it. This is Down's all instruments glitched run of Link's Awakening DX. Basically, this says it's a really glitchy run. It makes use of the doghouse glitch to explore and gather every single instrument in the game as quick as possible. The final fight could have been better, but I got Buffalos. See highlight. Buffalos is where you have to glitch the bat by playing the ocarina at the exact frame when the bat would normally fly out. Doing this glitch will glitch Death's final form and kill it right away, allowing you to climb the stairs without even having to fight him. Mab Plus. That's a shout out to Mab, I assume. Yeah, this is super glitched. It's you do stuff, you go behind the doghouse or the kennel. Do you guys know the word kennel in America?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just everyone's doghouse.
Assuming that means the same thing.
Yeah, it does. But anyway, yeah, it's glitchy. You can go wherever you want, pretty much. The map looks bizarre. It looks like someone vomited pixels everywhere. But yeah, it's cool. Check this out.
World War City.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. The video goes on. You get to see
Oh
the
my
wind
god,
pitch.
yeah, skipping that final phase.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That phase sucks.
Yeah. There you go. Really good job. Congratulations, Down. I'm glad that someone did like a really like a more exploration of the glitch rather than just the. Because you can use this to run straight to the end of the game and just fight the boss in 3 minutes or so. So he glitches into all the dungeons and gets every instrument. So that's all 8 of them. So I'm actually intrigued to watch this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Good job. We also have, speaking of Zeldas, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. This is the GameCube version, so not HD. This is the Any Percent with Tingle Tuner in 40822 by Demon9. This is a very nice start, except for Leaf and Master Sword segment. Bad endgame though. Yeah, he's running Wind Waker again, in case you couldn't tell by the massive view counts at the top of SRL, if you were ever looking at it while he's streaming. And it's really cool to see again. I actually really did enjoy watching Wind Waker, so I'm glad to see him going at it again. I'm not sure what his goal is for now, but he's edging ever closer to that 4-hour mark, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's crazy to see that game at like just above 4 hours.
Yeah, well, you remember when it was 8?
When it was 6?
Yes.
7?
6, 7, 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giano's first run, 6 hours 40, world record or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's like, oh, we cut the Giano!
Alright, we have then Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Let's pass this one to Rich, because masquerade's a European word.
Because he's a vampire.
You're right. There you go. Vampires are from Europe. You're from Europe. Done.
Sure, yeah. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines for PC. 100% by Lurk, done in 49 minutes and 25 seconds. And he says, sub 50 minutes. Games come a long way from my first of 1 hour and 14 minutes. Sub 49 is completely possible, but I think this run can be put down for a bit so I can focus on other projects.
So what he's doing here is,
Yeah.
what I can tell from the comment, what he's doing here is getting stuck in the door, and then quick saving and quick loading, and the game moves your character. You intentionally get stuck, and you get pushed upward through the ceiling into a different area. So that's the idea. He's going to get stuck here and quick save and load.
There you go. Yeah.
This is what I get for making your doors realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have copied in the quick save, quick load bug into their game from real life. That was a poor idea.
Right, yeah.
Alright.
That is a bad bug. I hate that. When I'm driving to work and it accidentally quick saves.
You're accidentally closing the door of your car and you quick save and you warp to Japan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
sucks. You walk to Japan and you're in your 50s and married and you don't remember what happened. Sucks.
I prefer the Half-Life style doors where if you get caught inside your door as it's closing, you suddenly underflow your health and you become a god.
You feel terrible for a few minutes and then you feel absolutely fantastic for the rest of your life. Yes, the old door high. Alright. Home Run Derby. Now. We need to talk about Home Run Derby. So, this is Winnie the Pooh's Home Run Derby for PC Japanese. Well, it's a Splash game, come on. This is the Beat Tigger category, not the All Clear category, because you don't fight God, aka Christopher Robin. This is Beat Tigger. This does not finish the game entirely. I'm perfectly happy with a Beat Tigger category, but you can't call it All Clear when you don't fight Christopher Robin and beat him. This is 52 seconds for Card of the Heart's previous submissions, now done on the superior Japanese version due to faster pitches. For future runs, I will have to not hit any extra home runs against Rabbit and hope I have enough power and contact to beat Owl. But for now, I'm giving this a rest because I'm too tired of resetting over foul balls. Christopher Robin, play this game and try and beat him. Okay?
I still haven't even seen him.
He's after Tigger. You have to hit 40 out of 50 balls, and you can't do it. I watched Shrimp and some of his friends have been blind racing this once a year. It's either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It's the blind race, and no one's ever finished it. Shrimp got to 4.5 hours and gave up, and he spent 3 hours of that on Christopher Robin, at least 3, maybe 3.5, and the best he got, I think, was 21 balls out of 40 required. This game is really difficult. Okay, the only person who says they've beaten it is Exo, and I'm gonna punch him in the face for lying to me next time I see him. Okay, like this, I'm pretty sure this game's not beatable. Like, I can't, I don't know. Shrimp tried using pause buffering by right-clicking the flash window, didn't work. It doesn't matter. You can't do anything. It's a joke. It's ridiculous. I don't know. It's so hard.
Christopher Robin.
This is the Winnie the Pooh.
Like God of Game. Sounds like a good RPG.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's just Christopher Robin, man. Shrimp's title for his stream was Yearly Reminder about the futility of battling God. And you get to Christopher Robin and you can't do anything. So, go check it out. I know a few of you are sitting here thinking, yeah, come on, dude. Flicky's not very good at games. So, Christopher Robin probably easy. Go for it.
You know what the best
That's what
part
I
of
was
this is going to be?
What?
When there's no ending and it's just a loop 2, that's even harder.
Oh my god. Ending
Just
on a
keeps getting harder, like Duck Hunt. Sure,
Ending
you
on
can miss
an-
4 ducks out of 10. Now you can't miss any.
ending on a 99 out of 100 Christopher Robin battle. No. Anyway,
I don't know that like screen transition where Pooh's face like flies really fast across the screen would kind of give me nightmares if I play this game.
Yep.
it's bad enough. But there you go. Congratulations, Card of the Heart, on your Beat Tigger record. I do not envy you for that one. And then finally, let's give this one to Crack Attack just because. Why not? Last one.
All right.
Why not?
We got XCOM Enforcer by Redemption99, who says, "Pretty good run. Messed up my route. I need to take to be optimal on some levels. Could be improved. And hopefully someday I'll get sub 1 hour."
Yeah, this is cool. Listen to the compliments this game gives you. If you're ever feeling down in the dumps, play this. This game is saying you're great all the time. It also reminds me of a modern version of all the silly PS1 third-person shooters. So I enjoyed it for that reason too. I'll admit, when I saw XCOM, I thought, oh, that's that like that strategy game thing, right? No, apparently this is the opposite of strategy. You blow everything up and you're a badass.
RTS as well.
Yeah.
It's like MDK in the Metroid Prime world.
Right. So there you go.
I've heard this is a really good game though. Sadly, I've never played it. But
It looks
I've heard nothing
cracking,
but good things
honestly.
about it.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Probably one of those games. It probably came out, what, 2000s early, and just too late to be picked up well. But yeah, it looks really great. It really reminds me of like the old arcadey third-person shooter things.
Yeah.
So yeah, there it is.
Feels like it should be on Dreamcast. Is this on Dreamcast?
Well, yeah, it
It
feels
just
like
looks like a Dreamcast game for some reason.
feels like it should be.
Kind of
on
looks
those.
like MDK2.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
There you go. Fantabulous. That's all of them. I'm gonna hit that split.
We did it.
We somehow lost
Good
time
reference.
despite being 30 minutes ahead. But
We should have
congratulations.
paused more.
How did we lose time when we paused so
It
many
happens.
times?
Hey, guys, look. It's a team effort. You all did just as badly as I did. But there you go. That's it. Normally you click through the records like this to show them all off one last time, which we're going to do.
Sometimes, yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Look at that. You see those.
Gotta give them a little time to read them, though.
Oh, well, you know.
You're not just showing that we have a bunch of records.
No, we got them. Look, we got loads of them. Check them out.
Well, look, they're still here, guys. Look
Can
at them
I,
all.
can I see them closely? No, we're going to background images now.
Nope.
Alright, we got then to find a raid target. While you guys find a raid target, we're going to ask our lovely guests if they have any final shout outs or messages, anything exciting
Any
they'd like to share.
last words?
Starting with you, Rich. Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, for Ninja Gaiden, I think Dexter he wants to get the top 3 position in Ninja Gaiden 1, so go check him out.
Talk about Dexter's Lab stream DXTRSLAB. And Crack Attack, anything?
I would do shoutouts, but I'd be here all day.
That's
so
alright.
I guess we'll do a shout out to Dexter as well.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
He was on my team for the relay. It was him and Jimmy on the same team.
Then you guys won too, right?
So really
I
proud of
spoiled
both
it.
those guys.
Oh well, doesn't matter. You guys won. Good job.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, they won 3 weeks
I
ago.
Yeah.
Alright.
You're just never allowed to talk about the race. You just can't spoil it.
Damn it, it's going to be really sucky in 40 years when I'm telling my grandkids about it and they say, who won the race? No, go look up the VOD.
Yeah.
Otherwise, PJ will come and break my, I don't know, respirator or
That's
whatever
right.
it is.
That's right. Even if I'm dead, I'm just gonna haunt you as a ghost.
See, PJ's power...
That would be terrible. That would be such a horrible life.
Well, haunting me, thanks. Gee, thanks, PJ. I thought it would be fun if we could hang out all the time with you as a cool ghost. Anyway.
I wouldn't be the cool ghost. I'd be like that asshole ghost in Casper.
Which one?
You know, the other 3 that aren't Casper.
Stretchy? Was it? No, Stinky, Fatso, and
There's that one that
Stretch.
ate everything. He was pretty
Fatso.
cool.
He was Fatso. Yeah. Stretch was the evil looking one. He was the creepy one, and Stinky was the goofy looking one with smelly breath. Why do I remember that? I haven't seen that movie
Yeah, I'm not sure.
since
That's
maybe
concerning.
1997. Anyway, I remember. That's the point. We're going to run some ads at the end of the show. If you could stick around and watch 3 minutes of ads, that would be very helpful. It would also help if you told your friends about the show and so on. We'd also like to thank you for choosing to watch us instead of Smash or Super Bowl, which I believe are 2 different sports that are also
Super
on right
Smash
now.
Ball.
Super Smash Bowl, that's the one. So that sounds like something you'd do when you try and cook, BJ.
Yeah.
There's that resigned snicker from
Yeah, my recipe book is a
Fiesel.
bestseller.
That's the laugh he didn't want to do, but he had to let it out. It's another stupid flicky joke. Okay, I kind of liked it.
Super Smash Ball.
Right. Next week we don't have an idea for an episode next week yet, but we have. Well, we don't have one booked.
We've
do
got
we?
a couple potentials.
We've
that
got
we're working on.
ideas, but we don't have it booked.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
we always need more people to be guests on the show. So if you guys have ideas for show episode, or, episode ideas and guests, if you want to be a guest, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to arrange something.
Yeah, and also check out SGL. When's the next SGL?
Oh yeah, next SGL. Okay, yeah, SGL. We're going to be off next Saturday. I'm not going to be around to run it, so we're not going to have an SGL next Saturday. But we are going to be back as usual next Saturday afterwards, February 14th, 4 p.m. Eastern time on this channel, and then again on the 21st.
This better be all romance-themed games.
All romance-themed games because of the
Valentine's Day,
maybe.
yeah. That's the one. Everyone in chat
bring
suddenly
your
just thought, oh
significant
shit,
other."
you're right, that is Valentine's Day.
Right.
Time to order myself pizza now. Do you know you can order pizza days in advance?
I did know that.
Yeah, you can order pizza for a set date. If you're like, I want pizza next Thursday, you can do it now. I had no idea. What a
Can you
world.
have pizza delivered? I know. You should have pizza every year on the same date. It'll be your pizza-versary. Just set up a standing order for pizza.
You're driving back to see your family, and it's like, oh, why are you going back to see your family this random date? Oh, it's a pizza day. I ordered
pizza.
50 pizzas. I thought it might be the same pizza guy delivering it every single time, but it's not.
How bad would it be to order pizza like 3 weeks in advance and they never delivered it? They just never ordered.
That would suck, because I would be
And you're-
so excited about the pizza by that point. I'd be like having a shitty day at
It's like
work.
suspense.
I'd be having a shitty day at work and being like, oh, well, I mean, the pizza's coming soon, so I got that to look forward to.
Yeah. Today's the day. I finally get my pizza.
I tell you, Dave, LL Cool Dave, tried to order a pizza recently online, and he wanted to order it on Thursday night, and his estimated date or time of arrival was 5 p.m. on Tuesday, the following Tuesday, and his pizza never arrived. It never came, and he never got charged for it, so he doesn't know what the hell happened. Well, there you go. Anyway, do we have a raid target?
I
We
believe
sure
so.
do.
We do. Fantabulous. Post it in the chat. Share it out. Give us a raid message. You can. Should we make the raid message about pizza? Pre-order pizza can be our raid message.
Pre-order pizza.
Yeah. Pre-order pizza. And who are we raiding? Post it in the chat.
Mitch.
Mitch. And the raid message is pre-order pizza. That's Mitch Firepower. Go say hi to him. He's playing Super Mario Brothers 3. Is he doing Warpless, I imagine?
Yes, sir.
Fabulous.
Sure is.
Go check him out. Watch some ads on our behalf, and we'll see you next weekend for some more TSSB action. Thank you very much.
The Sunday Sequence Break.